back.
Sound.
All right, so we are here to do our very first watch-along exclusively on Patreon. We're super excited if you've joined the Thumper VIP tier, which is the tier which is $10 or up. You're here for the exclusive live stream of the very first Iron Man movie. We left it up to you guys to decide what movie we're going to watch first. I put out a poll asking what film celebrating its 10th anniversary should we watch first. You chose Iron Man by like 3 points, beating out The Dark Knight. Very
Amazing.
surprised. I'm very surprised. Especially if you guys have been watching our stuff for a couple of years now. You know we did a road to Captain America Civil War. Everything from Iron Man all the way to Ant-Man. A nice 2-day live stream. Jesus Christ.
And
Never again.
I think that everybody is in like Iron Man mode right now just because Infinity War hype. Just because
Well,
that's as great as the Dark Knight trilogy is, it's now something we're looking back on from 10 years later going, what a great movie, what a great trilogy.
For sure.
But it's a totally different animal than the MCU, which is this ongoing phenomenon. So I think people have been so hyped since Infinity War.
Right now there's huge stakes on Tony. I mean, Tony's kind of carrying this whole thing. So.
And it's so fun to go back and watch where this thing started and to see them, from the beginning.
Because this was the wild, wild west of like, movies when this movie came out.
Yeah, Marvel Studios took a big chance. Robert Downey Jr. was not a star at that point.
Yeah,
Jon Favreau had done a couple movies, but nothing of this caliber. This is like the biggest thing he would be doing up to this point. So there was a lot of risk, and Marvel Studios was a brand new studio. They were an independent production company making these movies, and they had a distribution deal at the time with Paramount. And this was before they got bought by Disney. I think they were acquired by Disney in 2009, I believe.
And you guys can still hear us. Let us know just to make sure. The doggo is Lola.
This is Lola. She's the biggest Iron Man fan I know.
She's been staring at the TV for the last 15 minutes.
She fucking loves Tony Stark.
Just ready to go.
She's really into Ironheart right now. So
great.
Yeah,
I don't blame her.
I mean, just look at her. She just hit this pose right now.
Yeah.
She's
Adam,
just like, I'm ready.
I think you mentioned at the top, too, but we're going to do this once a month.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you give us a tease as to what movies will be in the poll to pick for the watch along next month? Are you feeling it?
We're having a conversation about what movies we're going to do for the next one. I think it's going to be the most how did I phrase it? I forgot how I phrased it. I would say, okay, I'll put it this way. 90 superhero movies that were terribly bad but also deliciously great.
Oh, my God. I hope, Spawn is in there.
That Fantastic Four and that Captain America back in the 90s.
No, let's skip those. No.
No, let's add those.
I really would like to focus in on obscure superhero movies.
I would like to veto The Crow because I just watched it.
Yeah.
Keller and I just watched it for the 500 Greatest Films podcast.
Yeah.
So
I'd like to veto that one as well.
Yeah, so that's out.
Let's each get a veto just in case.
I don't really have a veto.
It could get like real bad.
Okay.
Oh no, it's so bad it's great.
This is gonna be fun, but it'll be a fun drinking game.
Actually,
it will be.
Just talking mad shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, if you do want to join these every single month, you can go to patreon.com/hyperrpg. Meteor Man, this is definitely on. It's definitely right here. You can join the Thumper VIP tier or anything higher than that. If you're watching this on YouTube, obviously this will be available at a later time. But we want to give Thumper VIPs and everybody who's in the $5 tier as well early access to all of this. And then, available YouTube at a very, very, very later date.
Let's get it going.
I'm very excited about this.
Ready.
So the way that this works, it's BYOM, bring your own movie. If you've got a DVD or a Blu-ray, make sure you queue it up. We are already at the 0.00 mark, and we'll count it down. We'll let you guys know when we are going to start.
So this is after the menus, after the everything.
This is basically the very beginning of the movie.
It's like you hit play movie, and then it goes through like a couple of those like little menus, like PG-13.
which I hate.
Right.
And then as soon as it like starts, hit pause.
Yes.
Lola's ready to go, you guys.
Dude,
she is.
She's giving me
the running time on this movie is 2 hours, 6 minutes, and 1 second.
Yeah.
Sweet. We've got a countdown timer in the back that will let you guys know. If at any point you kind of randomly jump in, you'll be able to follow along.
That's dope.
That's great.
But I think with that being said, we're going to obviously be talking about the movie, little factoids and stuff. I reached out to IMAX to find out what was going to be special about the IMAX re-release that's happening.
Right.
This is the first time that Iron Man will be projected in IMAX theaters.
Nice.
Super, super exciting. So,
yeah.
Without further ado, let's just get this bad boy going.
Right on.
All right,
Let's
so
do
I'm going to count you down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Play. We're in.
We're in.
We're in the Matrix, baby.
We are in the Matrix. So I think the first thing, obviously, is I think there was only I think Phase 1 is the only phase to be distributed by Paramount.
That's correct, yes. And interesting note about this is there are exactly 69 stars because Kevin Feige is a perv. I'm just kidding. I'm trying to make jokes
I was gonna
for the
say.
commentary track right off the bat, guys.
Dive real quick.
I'm gonna, that was a real bad joke. I'm going to be hitting you guys with a bunch of not true facts. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to do that.
Marvel Studios logo obviously also went through
And
quite
that
a
was
few renovations.
That was the first one, though. That's
the
the first time.
And that's the one that had been used on like all the Marvel movies up to this point. The Fox ones, the Sony ones, all that stuff.
No. That was different because it's studios.
Right. But I'm saying that design in terms of the flipping through the pages.
Yeah. That started with the first Spider-Man movie. AC/DC, baby.
I knew I was going to love this movie when it started with AC/DC.
Yes.
Right off the bat. And
this is.
I like how they just go right into it.
Yes.
It is a brilliant opening scene because all it is a character piece.
Yep.
And we talked about this a little bit last week when the movie was starting, but this was used as the audition material for Tony Stark to audition the lines, and that's where Robert Downey Jr. nailed it. And you can see that audition. It's online, and I think it's on the Blu-ray. And that's the first shot you see of Tony Stark is him holding alcohol.
That's why I thought this was going to be a deep dive into his alcoholism.
Yeah.
And plus, I like how it introduces Tony Stark as someone who, like, even they're intimidated by.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't really know how to react to him.
Right.
It quickly establishes that he's very much this, like, Bruce Wayne,
big,
millionaire, billionaire, philanthropist type of character.
He's the best, man.
Yeah, he's good.
Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. And I think it's so smart that they showed the woman's reaction to that.
Yeah,
right.
She smiled, which kind of let us know he's off the hook because it was bullshit.
Yeah.
It was like a joke. Like, unless it's true for Tony Stark.
The only thing that dates this movie is this line.
The MySpace?
I don't want to see this like a MySpace page.
Oh, but then Marvel made up for it with just a few movies later with Thor.
Sure.
Where Darcy was like, oh, this is going on Facebook.
That's
so
right,
they already
that's
knew.
right.
They're like, MySpace is out.
Yeah.
Facebook is in.
Change it.
And you guys were saying this was shot in California?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Alabama Hills.
Yep. So this opening shot Alabama Hills, very similarly to Man of Steel, the last scene in that movie. There's a lot of movies that have shot here. But yeah, I've been to Alabama Hills. It's on the way up to Mammoth. Lucas and Keller have camped out there.
Yeah. We all need to camp out there.
Yeah. It's a cool location.
What I don't understand is how none of that shrapnel hit him because it all went through the Humvee.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if it went through.
Yeah, it made a hole. That means it went through, right?
Did it make a hole?
Yeah. Like a billion holes showed up.
We're gonna need some experts on shrapnel in the chat.
Yeah, I
Let
need
us
some
know.
ballistics experts.
I'll have to watch that. That Marvel Directors
Yeah.
Roundtable on the Infinity War features.
Oh,
That's so scary.
Dude.
the irony of being irony.
Yeah.
Irony, get it? No, but the
his
irony
own
of being
Stark.
injured by your own weapons.
His
Yes.
own bombs blowing him
Yep.
up.
Well, all of this stuff is just a modern retelling of the classic 1963 origin of Iron Man from Marvel
Right,
Comics.
right.
Like,
Yeah.
it's all there. The war's different. The war will always get updated with Iron Man, but it still works.
Lucas, ballistic expert here. Homeboy should have got smoked, but he's V-lucky.
Thank
Be
you.
lucky.
Thank you, Lucas.
Thank you, Lucas.
Ballistics expert.
Thank you.
But I agree. I think
Yeah.
this is a really smart way to introduce us to Tony Stark. It's
Dude.
just in the middle of what's happening.
And people forget, this is the franchise that Disney bought.
Yeah.
Everybody rags
Yeah.
on Disney,
Right.
but they bought this with this opening shot. That's a beheading video. That's what
And
that evokes. That is
Think of what was
horrifying.
going on at the time.
course.
Osama bin
Yeah.
Laden was still very
Of
much alive
course.
and active.
Yeah.
And then even after Disney purchased it, and you're thinking, well, Disney backed off of that. Their imagery for Iron Man 3 was the Mandarin looking like a Osama bin Laden. Like all of that shit was purposeful. That stuff is very. That's brilliant. Look
Yeah,
at that.
that's great.
It's just all so smart. And all of this,
John Slattery not playing
Howard Stark.
Howard Stark
Yeah.
yet.
There's his dummy robot. But all of this too is so smart because it's a comic book encyclopedia.
Yeah.
December 17th, 1991.
This is done in a sexy way for the movie, but this is
Right.
like an official handbook of the Marvel Universe. As you open it up and it says like Tony Stark at age 17,
Right.
it catches you up with the character.
It's all just facts, and then you're caught up.
Exactly. Which, again, very smart.
Yes.
Iron Man, Tony Stark, at the time, C-list character.
Yes.
Unless you read Marvel Comics, you probably didn't know who Iron Man was. You maybe recognized the imagery of who Iron Man was.
Yeah.
But for me, like, I remember seeing Iron Man on covers of comics, didn't read it. He would sometimes cross over in a Spider-Man comic,
Yes.
and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um,
He wasn't big time.
Yeah.
He wasn't. Ballistics, Lucas. Cheers,
and of course,
my friend.
Terrence
Thanks,
Howard
man.
playing James Rhodey
That's right.
Rhodes.
Yeah.
Really interesting. I thought Terrence Howard did a great job in this.
I think so
Yeah.
too.
I think he was expertly cast.
Yes.
I think just from like an aesthetic angle, he looks
What
more
are you
like
saying?
James Rhodes.
You're saying Don Cheadle's ugly?
No,
Huh?
Don Cheadle is a gorgeous
What
man.
do you-
But he
You take that
looks
back.
He looks more like comic
Rhodey in
Yeah,
the comic
comic
books
book Rhodey,
because
yeah.
Rhodey is
Yeah.
more like built, and Don Cheadle is a little bit more
He's
Sure.
a slender man.
slender guy. And nothing against Don Cheadle. Don Cheadle looks fantastic.
Right.
Terrence looks more like a career military man. Do you know what
Yeah,
I'm
he
saying?
does.
Yeah.
He
Like
does.
he looks the role more.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say the other thing about like knowing Iron Man from comic books and not, I'm so thankful that Batman has had a successful movie franchise before this because I feel like Batman
Yes.
influenced a lot of what they decided not to do.
Absolutely.
Jarvis is artificial intelligence, not a butler.
Right.
Because they knew if they're like, we got a British guy named Jarvis. Like everyone's gonna be
Yeah.
like, that's Alfred, that's Batman.
Right.
Yep.
And because of the fact that we'd seen Batman's origin now a few times, this could have been a young Tony Stark movie.
Right,
Everything we just
right.
saw, that could have been their origin movie where
Yes.
he's a 25-year-old actor
Yeah.
and his parents just died and now he inherits Stark
Yep.
Industries. Like they could have done that. But instead,
Yeah.
he's like 38 years old and it is full-grown adult where he is in the comics today, Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm
that's
glad
true.
they decided to do that.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
didn't make it like a Martha origin
Right.
type, like oh,
Yeah.
well,
And
my
they-
parents. And,
Yeah.
And they use what Stark Industries was at that point as
Yes.
a gateway into the franchise of like weaponry.
yeah,
Yeah.
And how
absolutely.
weaponry turns against him, and
That
now
woman
how
looks-
he has to avenge.
That woman looks like Hilary Swank so
She
much.
does,
But
yeah.
it's not her.
Yeah, she does.
John Favreau is Happy Hogan, obviously also the director,
Oh, so good.
which was
Right.
great.
And I think
That's a nice touch.
he took on Happy Hogan because I think he wanted to give himself the excuse to like work out again.
Yeah.
Because Favreau has like been fit
He
and then also
fluctuates.
he
He
fluctuated
fluctuates, yeah.
for movie roles and then not and then back and forth.
Yeah.
Oh, Leslie Bibb.
Yep.
She's so funny. If you guys
She
haven't
is.
seen Anchorman: The Legend
She's
of Robert
Oh,
Redford,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
hilarious.
What was that show she used to be on the Warner Brothers TV? Popular? Was it called Popular?
I don't
I
know.
don't remember what it was
She
called. I
was
remember
also
around
in like The League, like the first episode of The League.
Yeah.
But she's great.
there. If it had been a young Tony Stark movie in 2008, who would have played young Tony?
I
That's a
mean-
good question. Back then, they wouldn't have done
Back
any sort
then,
of computer
they didn't have the
enhancements.
face replacement
yeah.
stuff.
I don't know. That's
I don't know.
tough. That's tough.
It would have had to have been
Young
like
Chris
a
Pratt.
young. I know, a young Chris Pratt. Huh? It would have just had to been like some young teenager
Yeah.
who kind of looks
Yeah.
like him.
And what
Yeah.
I'm saying is, like, I'm not saying like they would have filmed just those scenes. Like, they could have made the whole movie that.
Sure.
It
Right,
would not have
right.
been Robert Downey Jr.
Right,
Robert
right.
Downey, I think, was like 38 when he shot this.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not a young. That's not a superhero typical.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
casting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And again, it goes a lot. There's a lot to be said about the writing of this movie, about taking this character who he wasn't a villain,
Right.
but he very much embraced the concept of weaponry
Yeah.
and using it as a deterrent and as a way of defending,
Yeah.
Well,
us.
yeah, and not necessarily like wanting to do good, but
Right.
maybe what some people might find unethical means to go about
Sure.
doing that good,
Right.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like he's a good guy, but we don't necessarily agree
Right.
with how he's getting there.
Paul
Exactly.
Bettany's first appearance as the
Yes.
voice of Jarvis, who will
I think
later
a lot of
become
people
Vision.
forget that Paul
Dude.
Bettany's been there since
He's
the
been
beginning.
there for 10 years.
Yeah.
And now, granted, his job back in the day, he's
Of
talked about
course.
this, was only coming
Like
into a VO
one
booth
day.
for like
Yeah.
a day
Yeah.
or two
Yeah.
when the movie was done. And
Yep.
then later they're putting fucking pink makeup on him and
Yep.
he's having like, he has to wear this stuff.
Yep.
Yep.
But still, he was there from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I love the scene too where they hook up because it does a lot of character work. It still makes him likable.
Right.
When he was getting accosted by this woman going, "You're a war profiteer," and he still was able to convince her like, "I'm charming enough. Come back to my place. and
Right,
we'll hook
right.
up and it'll be." And they were laughing and we'll have fun.
Yeah.
And the fact that he falls off the bed, it's not
Yeah.
like it's not the most macho move.
Right.
It's
right.
fun.
Yeah.
You compare this to the movie that came out 2 months later, The Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
Where Edward Norton, Bruce Banner cannot even have sex with the love of his life, Betty
Right,
Ross,
because
he'll
he'll Hulk
Hulk out.
And that just shows you
Poor
the
woman.
difference of how fun it is to be Tony Stark
Yeah.
versus how fun it is to be somebody like Bruce Banner Hulk.
Right.
And it's just all good character work, and it makes a character who should be unlikable likable.
Yeah.
Like you were saying.
This is cool too. I like the way they introduced Pepper Potts. You must be the famous Pepper Potts.
Yeah.
She has a reputation.
And occasionally taking out the trash.
Right.
Yeah.
She has a reputation not only working for Tony Stark, but working with Tony Stark, obviously being a big part of Stark Industries, whatever that may be.
Yes.
Which
Pepper
we don't
Potts
know at this point.
stirs stuff up. And what we get here too is Tony doesn't sleep in, dog.
Yeah.
He just got some stuff, and then he's like already working. He's already in his office.
Exactly.
Working.
He's got that very stereotypical like
genius
Elon Musk type of
work
Steve
ethic.
Jobs work ethic.
Because that's not a job thing. That's a hobby thing.
Right. Exactly.
This man can't stop working.
It's also an excuse for him to not have to say goodbye to the woman who accepted him. So he's kind of a piece of shit.
Yep.
Very much. But, I mean, I think people kind of know when you hook up with Tony Stark, you kind of know what it is.
I know.
You know?
Right.
All of that. And how many minutes has this movie been on? Hit triangle?
Oh, no, we got it back here. 11 minutes and 24 seconds.
11 minutes, and we know this much about Tony Stark, Pepper Potts, James Rhodes, even Obadiah Stane, Jeff Bridges. We didn't mention him.
Yeah.
This thing is just efficient, man.
Bad Wobot says, I know a lot of comic backstory now because of you guys, and I don't read as much as I want to. Hence, it's been awkward in conversation recently why I know things.
Don't even worry about it, dude. You know what you know.
The knowledge is useful.
You should read some comics.
Yeah, for sure.
The other thing, too, that I thought this movie does so incredibly well is setting up the technology of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still very realistic at this point.
Very realistic, very practical. Some of it, when it's like glitchy, you accept it because you're like,
sense.
this is like an evolved piece of technology.
New technology.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I do feel like later on in the MCU, it's gotten so advanced. The tech has become so like advanced and convenient.
Yes.
Which is fine because it slowly transitions from what I would say is like somewhat of a realistic universe into a more fantasy
comic book universe.
Yeah.
Fantasy universe.
It's straight. Now it's just nanoparticles that appear from his skin.
Exactly.
Yeah. But
and I think the Marvel Cinematic Universe has done a really good job of convincing us that this can be a possibility, that this is their reality.
They've eased us into it.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is
instead of like starting with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Totally. Or starting with Iron Man having a nanotech suit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The only reason everything after this works like tech-wise in the MCU is because we spend so much time with Tony Stark as he's building the suit.
Right,
so we buy it. We buy it.
We see it from Mark 1, basically.
Mark
all the
1,
way from Mark 1.
The fact that Mark 1 to Mark 3 happens in this movie means that in Iron Man 2 we go from 3 to 6 and we buy it. And then in Avengers we get 7. And then in Iron Man 3 up to 42, 45.
Or something like that,
And then in Infinity War it comes out of his skin and he's got floating like blasters around him. You know, it's great.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
But that makes it so that, like, Spider-Man suit, we buy it.
Exactly.
You know,
well, even the concept of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, they just straight up jumped to Iron Spider at that point. And that's super, like, in the history of Marvel, that's super advanced.
It is.
You know?
Yeah.
This is also a great, anything
These
that
two,
Rhodey, they have great chemistry.
They do. And I would say the chemistry between Terrence Howard and Robert Downey Jr. is very different from Don Cheadle and Robert Downey Jr. I think the latter two, they have sort of more of a brotherly chemistry.
Yeah.
This one, it's sort of like
these guys are more
friends,
like homies.
Like homies.
They're like, look, they're at
homies
like
who grew up like in the same block
right
type of thing.
These guys?
Yeah.
This song you're hearing right now, this is Ghostface Killah doing a song called Slept on Tony with Dirt. And he's rapping about Tony Stark, but they're leaving out certain lines because it wouldn't make sense. But that's that little.
You know, his rap alter ego is Tony Stark.
Tony Stark's.
Yes, Tony.
Because he's like a legit fan of Iron Man.
Yes, he is.
So is, I have to mention this, the composer.
Yeah.
Ramin Djawadi was a fan of Iron Man, and he positioned himself to score this.
That's awesome.
And Jon Favreau's normal collaborator, John Debney, who eventually scored Iron Man 2, and I don't think is as good as Iron Man 1, he couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So Ramin got in to score this, and I thought he did such a good job.
I will say, out of all 3 Iron Man movies, this is my favorite score.
I really like Brian Tyler's work in Iron Man 3, but I will say that this is the more iconic.
Yeah.
Because it's Jon Favreau going, it should be all rock and roll like AC/DC. And Ramin Djawadi composed everything on a guitar first before he went to the rest of the orchestra. awesome.
And also, Tony Starks does an album with MF Doom, who takes on the Doom persona. It's great. You need to listen to that album. It's great.
Doom
it's
Quest.
Great.
This was the trailer. This was the footage they showed in 2000 at San Diego Comic-Con.
San Diego Comic-Con.
This was impressive.
Because it's
Were
all...
you there? I didn't know you then.
I was there.
But I was there too, yeah. Hey,
Iron Man.
Since the beginning.
I think we were all there at that point.
Right?
We just didn't hang out with each other.
Yeah.
But it's like, without the CG stuff, we saw just like the speech.
Yeah.
I respectfully disagree.
And then the explosions.
The Jericho.
I humbly present the Jericho.
And it's such good character work, but like, it's awesome.
This also helps sets up the technology because you see those little tiny bombs causing such a big explosion. And then he blows up a tank with a thing the size of like a pencil. You know?
Yeah.
To peace.
The thing I'll say about Terrence Howard, too, this is great foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Notice he's got a necklace on.
Yep.
And listen to this line. That is all a reference to what Obadiah Stane looks like in the comic books. Obadiah Stane, I'll show you guys. He has like pajamas, and he wears like a big honking necklace. Well, they don't have a picture of him in his normal pajama outfit, but that's a very iconic Obadiah Stane.
I hope if I ever go bald, I can look as good with just like the beard and the baldness.
You just walk around going, Tony, my boy.
Tony, my boy.
Tony, my boy.
And now we're caught up.
Yeah.
I like the way they did it. It's very clean. It's very engaging. You
and
learn
look,
a lot.
We're 15 minutes in, Doug, and we know everything we need to know up to this point.
And again, great foreshadowing for Obadiah Stane calling one last time, which seems like it's Obadiah's a great character in this movie because it seems like it's I want to ensure that you're going to get taken by the terrorists that I hired, but it's also like, dude, I've known you since you were a kid.
Right.
And I want to say goodbye.
Oof. Yeah, exactly.
I kind of care about you. I do love you. I'm sorry I have to do this, but like, goodbye, Tony.
Yeah.
I want to see your face one last time.
Yeah.
You know.
That's why he was calling.
Great. Yeah. My God, look up this actor's name who plays Yinsen. Look up the actor's name. I love this actor.
I really have liked all of the mentor-like figures that have shown up. We had Jensen. We had Erskine.
Tucci.
No,
yes.
was it Erskine?
Yeah, Stanley Tucci played Abraham Erskine.
Yep.
Even Skarsgård with
Thor.
Dr. Selvig.
Yeah, Dr. Selvig.
They're a great mentor. A lot of the times father figure type characters.
So does this mean Jensen drilled out a circle in his chest cavity in a cave?
Possibly, dude.
Oh my God.
And this is
insane.
Horrifying.
Yeah. Sean Tube.
God, he's so good.
So good.
If you haven't seen the movie The Kite Runner, I would say you only need to watch it once. It's pretty intense.
Yeah.
It's pretty rough, but
I've heard about it,
he's so good in it.
Yeah.
He's so good in it. Sean Tube seems like he's one of Hollywood's go-to like a Middle Eastern guy that we think is nice. He's one of he's their go-to actor to put in roles, you know. A Middle Eastern guy, but like a nice one that we like.
Like a nice guy. Like an everyman.
Mm-hmm.
And again, very quickly explaining to you, what is this thing?
Yeah.
What is it doing? Shrapnel, so it doesn't fucking kill you.
Yeah.
So good. I buy it.
Yeah.
So I have a cool thing right here. This is the Marvel Cinematic Universe guidebook, and it breaks it down movie by movie. The first one is, this was originally single issues, and I had them all, but then they put them in this nice book. This is encyclopedias for the MCU.
Nice.
So the interesting thing is, you open the front page. First of all, that's the cover for Iron Man.
Yep.
Okay.
That's great. That's dope.
The one thing that I love about this movie is how the way it's photographed. So good.
Yes, and the Mark I is the coolest.
Yep.
But you turn the page, and it says that this is covering Marvel's Iron Man, and then Iron Man, I Am Iron Man, issues 1 through 2. So there's two comic book tie-ins, and those are in here. So here's what I'm going to tell you, because these is technically part of the MCU, are these tie-in comic books. Iron Man, I Am Iron Man is this right here. It's just an adaptation of the movie, but there's a couple of bonus scenes.
Oh,
so mainly
little
the
addition.
bonus scenes all have to do with Nick Fury. I was going to say Sam Jackson. Nick Fury. And so far, the movie and the comic book right now is the same. The first time we're going to see a different scene that's in the comic that's not in the film is in a little bit when Tony finally breaks out and flies up into the sky to escape as Iron Man.
Yeah.
There is a little scene here with Jasper Sitwell, who we first meet in
Winter
Thor.
Thor,
yeah, he's at first in Thor. S.H.I.E.L.D. agent talking to Fury, and he's like, "Sir, we've got a energy signature that we have." So they're already like knowing that Tony Stark has gone missing, probably because he supplies stuff to S.H.I.E.L.D. or what is a version of S.H.I.E.L.D. then. Yeah. And that thing is a unique energy signature. So they're already like tracking him, and because of that, Fury's like, listen, that's the closest lead we've gotten to the whereabouts of Tony Stark. Send a helicopter. Let Rhodes know. So Rhodey goes to save him because of a tip from S.H.I.E.L.D.
From S.H.I.E.L.D. given and an order by Nick Fury.
Yeah. Exactly, monitoring everything.
That's cool. And what's great is like when we get to that sequence, when you see it in the context of the movie, you just assume
they were looking for him.
You just assume that they had been sending choppers for, because it's, what, 3 months that he's gone, I think
so, yeah.
That they were just sending chopper after chopper after chopper.
Yep.
Bad Wobot.
Oh, he's got to carry that battery around.
Bad Wobot says, Hector sounds like how I'll be talking to my moderately interested coworkers in a fairly short amount of time.
Spit that knowledge at him.
Super into it.
And that's all that happens in issue 1 of 2 that is half of the movie. And then I'll go into the other half when we get to it.
Yeah.
But I love these things, man. It's great. These little encyclopedias, like, they tell you about the movie character, and then they tell you, like, and in the comics, this is how they are.
And right. Favorite phrase.
In the comics, I know. We got Christine Everhart, Happy Hogan.
This character's Abu Bakar, right?
Yes. Jericho.
The Jericho missile.
Abu Bakar.
Nope, there he is. Ho Jensen.
Guys, there's no way Tony can hold that battery for that long. If you've ever held a car battery, they're ridiculously heavy, and he's not just going to be holding it like that for that long. Sorry, that's just me.
Raza.
Yeah.
Who we initially think is
the Mandarin.
The Mandarin.
Or he's already playing with his rings, which is all for comic book fans.
Right.
The 10 rings is all for comic book fans. I think after this movie came out, and even after the end of the movie, I was like, oh, Raza had to have lived. He'll eventually turn into this world's version of the Mandarin. But we never see that character again.
Yeah.
Another great actor. He's awesome in the opening scene of Star Trek.
Yes.
You're the captain now, Mr. Kirk.
That's right.
So good.
Yeah.
Oh, that was him?
That's him, dude.
Oh, interesting.
As Chris Hemsworth, Thor's captain.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
And the USS Kelvin. This fucking scene.
I know. I knew this. I knew Hector was going to say that.
So good. Well, then. It's just like so classic, but it works so well.
Yep. I want it well lit, like he's at Stark Industries.
Hell yeah.
That's the thing I like about the score. It's very simple,
yes,
but it works.
Bum, bum, bum.
Dun, dun, dun. I remember, because I didn't really know too much about Iron Man other than the very, very basic idea of his story. And the thing I love about this movie was, 1, I fell in love with the character.
Yeah.
2, I walked out of theater the whole time. Bum 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 bum. Like, so good.
Great question from Blvd. Because Howard Stark was a founder of S.H.I.E.L.D., do we think that Nick Fury might have sent Black Widow into the area to try and help find Stark? No. According to this, no. The first time we even get mention of Black Widow, according to these tie-in comics, will be at the end of this film, after Nick Fury breaks into Stark's home and says, I am Iron Man. And that whole scene plays out. We get the rest of the dialogue of that scene here in the comic.
Ooh, you're going to have to read that to us at the end.
I'll share it with you guys. But at the end, there is a little scene here where Nick Fury goes, or an agent's like, so he's a no-go, Colonel? And he goes, oh, he'll go. He just needs the right approach. Inform Natasha will be needing her services. Setting up for 6 months later, Iron Man 2. She comes in as his assistant.
Yeah.
So the creators of the comics, the movies, they already know that Black Widow the way to introduce her is like spy stuff. She's going to be infiltrating.
Right.
The way
like
Black Widow does.
high-end spy stuff too.
Yeah. 24 minutes, 29 seconds. Taylor, thanks for joining us.
Welcome.
Did they just give Tony that hat? No, wasn't that Jensen's hat?
I think it might have been Jensen's hat.
He mentioned hat in one of those. He's like, I need a soldering iron. I need a hat. Right. I need this. I need some guy was like, oh, get Tony Stark a hat.
I need an old-timey, like, what's it called? Like newsboy hat.
That's right. I also love the fact that he is not telling Jensen what he's doing.
Right, right.
Yeah.
He's
I
waiting.
mean, it's
right
to protect
there.
him too, though.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Is this a few days at this point? Hours?
Yeah.
I don't know. But he goes,
Yeah.
"Nice to meet you.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm Tony Stark. I'm Jensen.
I'm
Nice
Jensen.
to meet you. You probably don't remember me. We met at the conference in Bern."
That's
and
right.
then we see that in Iron Man 3.
Yep.
It's so
Yeah.
good.
This is cool too because it's showing how he's already advancing. He's already doing something for himself,
Right,
Which
right.
is very Tony Stark.
He is
but
not working on a Jericho
exactly,
missile.
but it is for his benefit.
Yeah.
If anybody asks, well, I don't want to carry a battery around. You know how hard it is to do any
Yep.
work.
But also, nobody's really
exactly.
bugging him either.
Yeah.
You know? Nah, dog.
Miniaturized.
Boom.
I know the math. 3 gigajoules.
Or as Doc would say, gigajoules.
Yeah.
Mhm. This is dope too. This
Yeah,
is
I
just
love
like
this.
so smart.
And this is what's cool. If you follow the Iron Man comics since it's, not since its inception, but if you just followed it since your childhood, I see that as someone who didn't read, and I was like, oh, cool, he's building the first suit.
Right.
But because of how much it resembles, obviously Mark 1 has changed throughout its comic book history, but because the general look of it is so accurate to
It's
what it
very
was in the
iconic,
comics,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's exciting for fans. Yeah.
And do you know why he said flatten them out and look? He had the plan drawn on 3 different
Yep.
sheets of paper so that nobody
All
could
different
figure out what he's
pieces.
doing.
great.
Yep.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Just little details that make the movie amazing.
Exactly. Because again, you would watch it, and if those guys were to walk in at any point, they see this, and they're like, oh,
yeah.
you're building
It's just
some
scribbles
suit.
on a paper or
Exactly.
something. Yeah, exactly.
Knowing what we know about this movie, there's a lot of rumors about the production.
Foreshadow, by the way,
What did he say?
when he says, I will see my family when I leave here.
When I leave here. Yeah, dude. Brutal. And then he
Not
goes
when I escape.
from a small town named Gulmira,
Yep.
which plays
Yep.
into Tony's life later.
Yep.
But there's apparently well known that they did not have a finished script before they started shooting this. They were writing scenes day of when they were shooting the scenes.
Yeah.
They had a rough outline. Jeff Bridges said that they would they would take a couple hours and go to the trailers and like work out the dialogue and
Yeah.
figure it out. This
Oh,
movie should not
interesting.
be this good.
No.
Right.
That's fucking bonkers.
I mean, that's what happened with the Hobbit movies, and we know how those movies turned out.
Exactly. And that's the magic of movie making. It's
Right.
like you don't know what you have until it's done, honestly.
And it takes a it takes a unique type of writing team, director, producers to
Yes.
willingly do that, because yes, there are movies like The Hobbit that didn't do it well. Men in Black 3, didn't do it well.
Yeah.
But you look at a movie like, I still have not seen Mission Impossible Fallout, but when Tom Cruise broke his ankle, Christopher McQuarrie was constantly going back, rewriting. He added more of August Walker. It takes a very skilled type of individual, whether you're a screenwriter, director, or both, and a producer, to do that. So the fact that they were able to do all of these things in their first movie is incredibly impressive.
Right.
And that actor who plays Raza is great too, man.
Yes.
He's terrifying. This
He
is a
is.
great scene.
And this is sort of the first real piece of material with him.
Yes.
Yeah, this is really the first
Yeah.
intense look
We
we
see
get at
him,
yeah.
but this is like, oh shit, Big Boss is here.
I don't think he's the tallest actor in real life. Oh, look at that guy. Is that his hair? That's amazing. Just noticed that blonde guy. It's like Wesley Snipes and Demolition Man. Holy shit. Well, I'm gonna call that guy Simon Says from now on.
Yep.
But like this actor who plays Raza, he doesn't seem like the tallest actor, especially now that I'm seeing him stand next to Robert Downey, who I
Sure.
know is like 5'7", 5'8".
Yeah.
What are you saying, dog? I'm 5'6". Just kidding.
Farhan Tahir.
Yeah, in Hollywood, we're
know. We're
like
midgets.
4'8".
We
Yeah.
all know that
Yeah.
that Robert Downey Jr. wears platform shoes.
Yes,
Yeah, I know.
yes,
It's very
and
well known.
how he was able to do scenes with taller Benedict Cumberbatch, and they make them look like they're the same.
Ginormous Chris Hemsworth.
Yes,
Yeah,
like it's
yeah.
impressive, But Hemsworth is allowed to be tall because
Right,
he's Thor.
Yeah,
yeah.
of
But
course.
this actor though, who plays Raza, like again, not the physically tallest, he has such a presence.
Yes.
On when he's on screen, like he is terrifying and
Yeah.
very charismatic. He's great. I wonder if at any point they did plan to be like, this guy's the Mandarin.
Sure.
And maybe they changed plans.
I think so. I think they wouldn't, if they didn't want us to think that, he wouldn't have entered holding and playing with his ring.
I agree.
You know?
I agree.
Well, yeah.
We can talk about it later too when we get to that point, but it's like it is a little open-ended.
Yes, of course it is. Yeah, I mean nothing's still resolved with this character.
By the way, I don't think that's a guy's hair. I think it's his hat he's wearing.
Is he wearing like a wrap or like a hat?
No,
because it's like down to his.
I thought I saw. Yeah, see.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see now.
Oh,
that's
that's
he's
wearing
amazing.
a hat. He's very Cisco from the '90s.
Yeah. I was like, no, it's that guy's hair.
The thong song.
This next part after this is one of my favorite little moments of the movie.
God, man. But no, talking about the open-endedness of it, it is the best way to make a movie like this because they did not know. I think they knew that Hulk was happening.
Right.
So they were smart enough to be like, let's bring in Tony Stark
pretty
for
much
a cameo.
happening at the same time.
Yeah.
But other than that, they didn't know if this was going to work. And if it didn't work, that was going to be it.
That was
they borrowed all this money from Merrill Lynch.
Yeah.
Like this was going to be it for Marvel Studios. They really did for real. So
they didn't loan this one or what?
Yeah. So like the fact that they left it open ended meant that they were already thinking about future installments.
Yes.
Even Nick Fury coming in at the end saying, "I'm here to talk to you about the Avenger Initiative."
Yeah.
Technically, that doesn't mean shit. That's open ended, but it's still seed planting.
It could have been 10 years until we got an Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Right.
It could have been. So it's the smartest way to make something like this
I love
because
this right here.
the focus is just on Tony Stark's story for this film, but they still they had the foresight to plan those seats.
Yeah.
Most superhero movies don't work like that because they've mostly been studio movies.
This movie was DP'd by Matthew Libatique, who did Black Swan. He's definitely one of my favorite cinematographers for sure.
Iconic right here. Look at
Yep.
this with the
Boom.
smoke coming up.
Yep. Bum 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 bum. Again, very simple.
Yeah.
But sometimes simplicity is the best. You know, you look at some of like the more famous superhero scores, even The Dark Knight for a lot of it, you know, like a lot of the beats and stuff is the same stuff.
Yeah.
Look at a theme like Halloween.
Yeah.
It's literally the same notes
Jaws.
repeated. Exactly.
There was a great video essay response to that other video on YouTube that said like Marvel movies are unremarkable music.
Sure.
The music of Marvel movies is not memorable. This other guy had a response. It was like the music is good. It's just that they haven't used the same themes
consistently.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that I think is the real answer for why
Iron Man has had 3 different themes.
Yeah, and it's like kind of a bummer. And it's like I kind of wish that even though John Debney, a different person, was the composer for Iron Man 2, that they still used bum 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 bum.
Consistency.
Bum bum.
Even Captain America between Alan Silvestri and then Henry Jackman, who came in into 2 and 3.
Here's the deal, though. We've seen little pieces of the Alan Silvestri little pieces. I think that one thematically makes a lot of sense to keep the themes different for Cap during World War II, and then Henry Jackman, which is very political thriller modern. But Iron Man is Iron Man.
Right.
So it's and Thor
the
same
same
thing.
universe sort of thing. Yeah.
One of my favorite parts of the Thor score is at the end of Ragnarok, where Mark Mothersbaugh from Devo just brings over the score from the first Thor movie by Patrick Doyle. Yeah. Just flat out just redoes it because they're echoing the throne scene because he's sitting at the in the throne at the end. That's what I do. This is stressful, dude.
This is super stressful.
It's great.
Because there have been no tests on the suit whatsoever, so he could just flop over.
Run and gun, baby.
Yeah.
Run and gun in its finest form. So before we started the movie, I mentioned that I had reached out to IMAX. So for those of you who don't know, this movie, the entire MCU is being brought back into IMAX theaters.
Yeah.
Some of them for the first time. This movie, Incredible Hulk and Captain America: The First Avenger. This movie was captured on film. It's one of, I think, 4 or 5 movies that was captured, or 4, I think. I think the first 4 movies were captured all on film. It's obviously, when you watch it on Blu-ray, it's in a widescreen format. But the way it was shot, it's actually exists. There's a taller frame version that exists. You can see some of the footage on the Blu-ray actually,
interesting,
where they show like alternate and extended scenes. And I reached out to IMAX, and IMAX did tell me that select sequences are going to be in an expanded format.
Nice.
And I don't doubt that this will be one of them.
Yeah, because some verticality in this cave would be amazing.
So dope.
Yeah.
especially because the Mark 1 is such a tall uniform.
Yeah. Oh, it's on, baby. It's on, baby. It's on. I love that this suit sounds clunky.
Yeah.
Heavy.
Dude,
Heavy.
the sound
Heavy,
design.
for sure.
The sound design.
That is
so
the other
great.
thing. And again, you know, as the movies evolve, you kind of suspend your disbelief more and more and more. But the first Iron Man movie did a really good job of making you feel like the suits had a lot of weight to them.
Yeah.
This is so great.
I love this. This was in the Comic-Con trailer, and this got like people went apeshit.
Yep.
Huge reaction. And like, don't show the suit. Don't show it.
Right.
Don't show it. This is
Wait.
This is movie making 101.
This is a movie monster moment.
Here it is.
Yes.
Boom. And then the trailer. Bum, 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 bum,
There we
bum.
go,
I love
the
Black
hero
Sabbath.
shot.
So
Iron
good.
Man. Dude, it looks like such a piece of shit compared to what we know now. It's so funny.
But again, like everybody who reads anything that I tweet about, I appreciate the practicality of film so much.
Absolutely.
And the fact that like this, for the minus like a couple of shots in this entire sequence, this suit is a practical suit.
Yes.
Yeah.
It looks so freaking good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Stan
good.
Winston.
Yes, Stan Winston Studios. Yep.
Man. I think I would love
Doom.
for some of that practicality to come back.
Me too.
Oh yeah, I would.
Doom.
Yes, Tom Morello did work on the score as well.
Yeah, I agree. I wish there was a little more practicality in the Iron Man suits. Now Robert Downey mostly wears pajamas and like pieces of the suit,
Yeah.
and I don't know.
And
You know,
little
it is what
tennis
it is.
balls or
Yeah, yeah.
little ping pong balls.
In a perfect world,
So
he would
good.
wear more, but it's like, you know,
Disney
he's-
just showed a headshot, guys.
right? Well,
Or
Guy
Disney bought this.
Disney
Yeah.
bought a headshot.
Well, okay, still Disney bought it and they showed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they ever do an Iron Man 4, I think one thing that could get people excited about it is if in the trailers they really show like, hey guys, there's a lot of practicality
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
Or if War Machine ever gets a movie,
Yes.
Yeah.
make it heavy, make it
Yep.
clunky,
Right.
you know. Or years from now, if there's a new Iron Man
Yeah.
with like
Yeah.
Riri Williams
Right,
or
right,
something,
right.
bring back
Go
some
back
of that
to
practicality.
that. See, that's digital, obviously.
Yeah.
That was a pull string rocket.
Yep.
That's
Real
great.
gangster.
Yeah, real gangster.
This is the first of the iconic. We're gonna lose our mentor in this film,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
are all of them good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And Jensen's been in the movie for
38 minutes.
15 minutes maybe?
Oh yeah. His
Oh,
total- his
Jensen?
total
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
And you're already like, damn it, Jensen, why?
Yeah.
I'm going to see them now. Stop. Look at him, dude.
Yep.
Right.
He's mad. I want this.
I mean, again, this was a...
This also sets up the rest of the MCU right here.
Yes.
Don't waste it.
That's right.
Stark. Don't waste your life. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry.
Very much echoing Abraham
Oh,
Erskine
Here we go.
and his
Yeah.
speech with Captain America.
Go get him,
But
Tony.
when
The
Abraham
two
get him.
pillar
dies,
heroes.
he doesn't even have a speech. He just does this, and
Yup.
it's like
Yeah.
it's enough.
Fuck.
Yeah.
This is great. This is like the
Yeah.
monster coming out of the
Yep.
cave.
This is all very monster movie
Yep.
at this point.
It's so good. He's pissed.
My father figure just died.
Burn, motherfuckers!
My turn. So good. All of this is all practical.
Yeah. There was flames coming out of that
Yeah.
suit.
Wow.
I think that's the other impressive thing about the Marvel movies that I don't think we really talk about it too much, but a lot of times, the times in which these movies come out, they kind of reflect a little bit of like what's happening in the
Yeah,
world.
absolutely.
Yes.
And it's like, it's loose, but it's in
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
I think a lot of this stuff is digital just because of the way he moves and
Yeah.
bends.
Also, I mean, there's a lot of fire. You can't
Exactly.
really have the character
Yeah.
in that much fire. I can tell the digital shots.
Yeah.
Like, that's totally a
tell,
digital shot.
tell.
Yeah.
This was cool.
So sick.
What an intro to Iron Man.
Dude.
Like, this is it. This is what we're going to see from now on. Like,
and then here's the thing that everybody says is true, which it is. He should have died.
Yep.
Oh, he should have died right there.
Boom, 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 boom. Dead.
Done.
But it's like, is there any way he could have built like a shock absorbing suit and harness?
He could have, but he didn't.
Yeah.
Like, he's very clearly more worried about like armor at this point than
I'll say
shock absorption.
If that whole sequence is in, I mean, it's digital IMAX, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If it's in IMAX, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
That'll be a lot of fun.
Totally. So again, like I said, the only behind the scenes thing that's happening in this world at the time, according to the tie-in comics, is that like Agent Sitwell of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Nick Fury saw the energy signature of Tony Stark coming out, and so they already sent their friends in the DOD and the Department of Defense to let them know. So then this is probably why Rhodey shows up.
Yeah.
He must have been flying for a while then. Or like longer than what they showed there, because
unless they were already in the area, looking for him. I don't know.
It might have been a heavily monitored area, actually.
Yeah.
I love how he does a very Tony Stark thing.
Yeah.
To peace.
Yeah. Robert Downey Jr. is great, man.
Yeah.
Some great comments in the chat. Uberbaldi says that Tony Stark's first suit is a great example of the difference between Tony Stark and Obadiah.
Yep.
Because Tony keeps updating and evolving, but Obadiah, as soon as he gets the suit, he just makes a bigger version of that suit, of that Mark I.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh.
That was good.
Homies.
I love the first time that they meet. It's that dialogue. It's like, next time you ride with me. Yeah.
And then Gwyneth Paltrow, guys, she's a phenomenal actor.
Yeah, it was a really good moment with her.
They have great chemistry, despite the fact that she knew that like he slept with another woman at the beginning of the movie. By the end of it, when they're like maybe boyfriend girlfriend, you're like yes, like it's
right. You still root for them.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I love him looking at him propping his shoulders up. He's like, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
This is funny.
Leaving his wheelchair behind. Yep.
Get out of here.
Oh, she's just the cutest. I love Pepper Potts. Like she's so great.
The fuck you crying for? In his expression is, what the fuck you crying? In his mind, he's like, damn, someone cares.
I know. He's really touched by the fact that she's crying for him.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, we should have had Burger King tonight.
Here's the most unrealistic part of this movie. The most unrealistic part of this movie
is the first thing.
Is not that he builds a suit. It is that he is in Southern California and he wants a burger, fast food, and he goes to Burger King.
Right.
Shut the fuck up. That was a tie-in promotional.
Oh, absolutely.
Of course.
Absolutely.
If this was real.
Did you hear what I just said? I said we should have bought Burger King. Yeah. That's why they did it.
Exactly. Nailed it.
If this was real, if this movie was real, he would have walked out of there with a double-double.
Yep.
That's right. Mm-hmm. And Matt would have been real happy about it.
Burger King. Tony.
You know he's going to have the shits after.
Yeah. Oh, here's your Burger King, sir.
I need it.
It's great. Great sets too. Like I buy all of the locations that we go to, and the first appearance of one of the longest running MCU characters, still
Here
to this day, technically has I think the most screen time of any character.
That's true.
Has been resurrected.
Phil Coulson has been resurrected. Yes.
Son of Cole.
Don't know his fate at this point.
Here's the great thing about the way they introduce S.H.I.E.L.D. as a strategic homeland.
Intervention, Espionage, Logistics Division.
That one. For a guy like me, again, not knowing the comics that well, not piecing it together, I'm like, God, what a weird why would they have such a long name?
Yeah.
Not thinking about what the acronym stands for.
Yeah.
Strategic Homeland Intervention, Enforcement, and Logistics Division.
There you go.
Yeah.
Just randomly pulls another
He lied.
burger.
He said he only had one more
That's
burger.
Right. Pulls it out of his pocket.
Really?
Yep.
Tony Stark's a liar, yo.
Yep.
That's why Obadiah hates him. He's like, you should have given me that burger,
I
Tony.
really wanted Burger King.
I was really hungry.
I'm going to kill you. Yes, he would have gone in and out. Thank you, everybody in the chat.
Yep.
Thank you.
Gotta get that king money, baby.
great seed planting to the relationship between Tony and Howard Stark.
Yep.
Which, in my opinion, as somebody who read some Iron Man comics and read Iron Man in other Marvel comics like the Avengers before this movie came out, I never felt like that was such an important theme to Tony Stark, is him and Howard Stark and his father. It was never super explored in the comics. And in the movies, it becomes
kind
this
of a pillar.
It's this pillar. We get young Howard Stark in Captain America. We get his relationship with his dad in flashbacks and in home movies and Civil War, and the
which
best
is
part
smart because it makes him relatable. Like people have father issues, so yeah.
In fact, you guys want to know something crazy? Recently, the past couple years, they revealed Howard Stark is not the biological parent of Tony. Howard and Maria adopted him, and we learned that Tony Stark actually has other biological parents, and we learned their backstory, and I loved it. It was great.
Tell me they're no-named junk smugglers from another planet. Yeah, from nowhere.
Close. Actually, I'm not going to say that. No, that's actually the opposite. They're not already established characters.
Yeah.
But they are highly efficient people. I'll say that. And
so they're track stars, probably Usain Bolt and the fastest woman in the world.
But the comics are written by, and that's another great Obadiah Stane in the comic book thing, The Cigar.
Yeah.
Written by Brian Michael Bendis. I would go check them out. Start with Iron Man Volume 1, The Invincible Iron Man Volume 1. The storyline is called Reboot, and it's great.
Okay.
Reboot. Oh, my hat, Tony. Such a good scene. Tony. Okay. He said it. He said the thing. God, I love Jeff Bridges. That's a publicity stunt, Tony. Publicity stunt.
Mwahahaha. That's what you think, Obadiah.
Nope.
Mm-hmm. At this point, do you think Rhodey actually told him, or do you think that he was getting intel from the 10 Rings?
I think he was getting intel.
Wow.
Sure. Yeah.
Intel, most def.
Yeah, Jesse Glaspie. If Zach and Malika talked about the Iron Man comic, I love it. I think it's great.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Do you feel like the trailers revealed too much?
Nah.
Because
I don't remember what the trailers revealed at this, but
because
it's been so many years.
all I remember from the trailers is the song
Yeah.
and the big suit
Gotcha.
and the fire.
And Mark III with the jets, where he goes up and then two jets
Oh,
come
yeah,
up,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
he goes,
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
that's like
exactly.
that was the sequence they were already working on CG-wise, probably
From the
even
beginning,
From
yeah.
the beginning. Oh,
Yeah.
remember this guy, the Mad Money
Yep.
guy? This dates it so well.
Yeah.
Ugh. And it's so funny how over the top these people can be, but then when they know that they're going to be in a movie, they're such bad actors.
Yeah.
like
I know.
fucking Bill
Just be
O'Reilly
you.
in Iron Man 2. He's
Yep.
like, Pepper Potts is coming in, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Bill O'Reilly, you're a terrible actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Be
pretend
you.
like it's a real story.
You normally lie every day.
Yeah.
How are you this bad on camera now that
I
they're like,
pretend lying.
oh, this is going to be an Iron Man? Can
Yeah.
you say Pepper Potts?
I love this. This is a mix.
Oh, this is such a great shot.
This is a mix of Robert Downey and a dummy.
And a dummy, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, did they CG away his body?
Yeah,
underneath that?
so they added some. See, that's fake breathing that he's going on right there. You
Yeah.
can see in his chest that it's not very natural.
The only thing that's poking out that's real are his arms and his
neck, the top
and
of
above.
his neck. Yeah.
Wow.
And
So-
they blended it together with like
Yeah.
a fake dummy, basically.
Yeah, prosthetic basically,
Yeah.
and
It's pretty weird.
you could see that his chest is kind of weirdly shaped.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the lighting kind of doesn't help either,
No,
but like it's
no.
also obscuring a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because you're not looking at like how this skin doesn't look like skin. You're looking at the fact that he just ripped something out of his chest.
And then, I mean, if he was standing up, he would have a giant bulge like right here.
Exactly.
But that being said, since you're not staring at it, I mean, you are, but you're not looking at it. They do a good job.
You're literally focused on the fact that she's about to stick her hand inside of his chest.
Yeah.
And this is another great example of, you know why this movie works so well, guys? It's the cast.
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
Gwyneth Paltrow is beautiful in this scene, and Robert Downey Jr., beautiful performance, and they're working so well against each other.
Yeah.
She's so endearing, and he's so good.
Yeah.
This made me nervous in the theater.
Yeah, definitely.
And the sounds don't help.
Look at Uberbaldi. He says, now that you mention it, I can't unsee it.
Yeah.
Yo, those nips are real weird.
Yeah.
Some of the lines and reactions in the scene seem so ad-lib, says Jesse Glassby.
Yeah.
I know.
I love this. Operation.
When she comes out and it's all goopy.
Now make sure you pull out. You don't.
And then she. Oh! What adds a lot of tension is the beeping.
Yes,
the
totally.
beeping adds so much tension.
Because he's super calm, she's panicking, and then you got the beeping in the background. You're just like, oh my
Tony,
God,
it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. He's like,
let's hope.
Yeah. Yeah, she's great, man. Another great question here from or a great point from Uberbaldi.
Yeah.
I wonder if Howard Stark stopped developing the arc reactor in the past because he realized he needed the special element that we learn about in Iron Man 2. Possibly. Possibly.
There you go.
Oh, my God. It's going to make me cry.
Dog, you have Jarvis. See, now his chest is completely different.
Now it's muscly.
Now it's all muscly.
The muscles look real good.
Yep. He looks good, man.
It's an antique.
Dude, cut to them running in the park, and he's like, I had a dream last night. We had a kid, and it was so real. And you're like, oh, my God.
It's been a long journey, dude. Yeah. Long journey.
Yeah, his nipples are very erect right now. This is different than the prosthetic chest.
It's so funny. I watched an interview on MTV, and I think it was during Age of Ultron. They were interviewing the cast, and they were showing photos of their arms, of like muscular arms.
Of how they progress.
Yeah, and there was one of Robert Downey where he's wearing like the black like tank top.
Yeah. In the cave?
And no, it's in the cave.
Yeah.
Or it might be even in Iron Man 2, actually.
Yeah.
But you see just the definition of his arms, and everybody's like, Evans, Hemsworth. And then finally it was like Robert Downey Jr. Everyone was like, what?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He looked real good. He looked great in this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, Doug, if somebody told me, hey, Augustine, you're going to be in a comic book movie, I would spend the rest of my life working out.
Right.
Also, I want a jacket like that.
Well, then he has.
What's happening?
Oh, we're paused. Oh.
Nope. No, we're good.
Okay, we're good.
Guys, we paused for like a second or two.
Like a millisecond.
So sorry. So you guys might be ahead of us. That's a nice little.
Another little pause.
Nice little transphobic joke. This is a little outdated there.
Yeah. Oh, we're pausing
What's
here.
happening?
I don't know.
Is it? Why?
Let's get the timestamp real quick,
Pero
Adam,
por
just
qué?
to make sure that we're not off here.
Oh
no! Okay, here we go.
53 minutes.
53 minutes and 30 seconds. Yeah.
Okay. Man, this has been flying by. This does not feel like. 53. We're about 15 seconds off. Ay, Chihuahua, pero por qué? Why?
Hector, calm down.
Why is it stopping?
Oh, no. It's okay. We can go back. 53 minutes and 30 seconds.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, everybody. Are we going to slow down the quality? The MPEGs?
MPEGs.
Okay.
That's...
Okay, guys. Bear with us. Just pause real quick.
Yeah,
Everybody
pause it.
Pause it.
What's it say on the clock?
Oh, right. Are you trying to catch us up? 54 minutes and 21 seconds. Keep going, brother. We're gonna
catch up to this clock.
Don't pause.
We're gonna
right there, 28 seconds.
30 seconds. 54:30. 35.
Okay, now that's gonna be a little bit ahead of us, but that's okay. That's okay. People can jump in and figure it out. All right.
40.
Everybody. And okay, we're chugging right
and
along.
We're just chugging along.
Oh,
now we're at an hour and 18.
What happened? Did you hit another? You hit. Is it skipping because it's like
PS4?
Like, can't read this part of the disc.
Yeah.
What's happening? My disc is clean, brother. I left you
What is
a
it?
clean
54
disc.
what?
Now we're at
55 minutes.
55
minutes.
Exact. Go.
Yeah.
Dope.
Okay.
Put
55-12.
that controller down.
Yeah. Okay,
He's
so
lifting up the mask.
we're a few seconds ahead of this.
It's okay.
The Mandarin
Raza,
is looking
he did
menacingly.
Yeah,
he did live. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot
With
how he
the
dies
burned
for real
head.
later.
And they're collecting.
I know. PS4, why you do this? Says Blvd.
Yeah.
This is the shit I'm talking. This is why these movies work.
Yeah.
Because we're seeing him do it.
Yeah. You get to see the mechanics of it all. It's not like nano goo at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is such a cool prop.
I love the relationship he has with the robot. He just treats him like garbage, and the robot's just like, "Hey, man, I'm just trying to help.
Yeah.
You built me, stupid."
Apparently, the robot's name is Dummy. Like, for real. Did
Oh,
you
really?
see that the name was capitalized?
Mm-hmm. You are a tragedy. He's just talking mad shit the whole time.
Guys, this is Lola's favorite part, so she is going to be watching with us.
Dummy, but it's spelled D-U-M-E.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Lola.
This
Lola.
is our favorite part of the movie, guys.
Lola.
Lolita. Hey.
Nope.
She's watching the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, but they spelled dummy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which is wrong. The subtitles in this are wrong. What a laugh this got, dude.
Yeah.
I still remember the audience losing it. It was so funny.
You would think 10% would be fine.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
no.
he thought 10% would be fine,
Right?
obviously.
I thought so too. Blown his ass.
It's still very funny. It's
It
still
is.
very funny.
It is. Jeremy Carson says his banter with the robot is hilarious.
Yeah.
It's good. It's
It
really
is.
good.
Sorry, Bad Wobot. Bad Wobot says, damn it, I was so synced. LOL. This was a Super Bowl teaser, says Uberbaldi. Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
Dude,
See, I like this. I like how they use the tech.
Totally.
And it's it's not perfect.
It looks very much like Star Wars hologram technology.
glitchy, like you were saying. It's
glitchy.
glitchy.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's a little announcement. I'm really excited about this, guys. I was going to announce it last week, but technical difficulties prevented us, Lola.
Uh-huh.
So I am using tonight as my excuse after this movie, Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to watch every movie and TV episode and read every comic book in the MCU from the beginning over again because I dropped off on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I haven't seen every episode of every show. I haven't, I'm excited, dude. I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
All right. Are you going to stream some of those?
No.
You going to stream on Hector and Keller?
This for me at home.
Oh, okay.
That's my
good.
time. That well, huh? That bad, huh? I love Jeff Bridges.
How does Jarvis have schematics of Mark 1?
I don't know.
Tony
probably put them in.
Recreated them?
Yeah.
Or, again, with the tech he had in the cave,
Yeah.
probably not that hard to
Right.
recreate.
Yeah, it's very true. Very true.
Oh, man, that pizza look real good.
I know.
Okay, we
That
synced up
pizza
again.
look real good.
Okay, everything. Yes, Jesse
Jesse.
Glaspie. Even because I never saw Inhumans other than that tragedy we watched in that IMAX theater. So I'm gonna watch all 10 episodes of that god awful show.
I'll never forget that for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Credits. Hector turns to me. Let's get the fuck out of here.
And we were like 2 rows behind the young actress that was in the show, and her and her family were so excited. There was nobody else in the theater. It was,
Nope.
it was so sad.
That's brutal.
So sad. Yeah, dude, he was jacked in this movie.
Yeah.
Not that he isn't in good shape now,
Sure,
but like,
sure.
Right.
For being a 52-year-old man?
yeah. I want one more Iron Man movie.
Do you?
I want Iron Man 4, Tony versus the real Mandarin, because now we can do magic. Now, can you imagine if like him dealing with Doctor Strange, and then after Thanos and everything, like he has to like.
What if he dies?
He has to like his next enemy is like a full-on sorcerer like the Mandarin.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Laurel.
Yeah.
Dust me again?
Uberbaldi says Hector, you're gonna love season 5 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah, that's a lot of seasons to get to.
That's a lot.
But I'm excited, man. Okay, I'll have tissues. I'm not a brave man. Most of the shit in MCU is awesome. I love it. It's my favorite movie franchise ever.
I love that there's still like sparks coming out of it. Like
Yeah.
it's very
Still
much
work in
not
progress,
perfected. Yeah.
CBB.
Yep.
This is all done on wires, which I love.
Yeah.
They had like this like overhead rig
Yeah.
that would pull him across the set.
Yeah.
And I think they did it in a unique way where they attached it to the boots, I think. It's either the boots or somewhere lower on his leg, which is what gives him sort of that like feeling like
imbalancedness
it's exactly.
Of it, yeah. So they pulled him by his feet, and they also had him pulled by the hips to go left and right.
Yep.
Yeah. So it was very much lower body control.
So it was like very much wherever your feet went, it would cause you to move in a specific way.
Yeah.
Dude, how fun is this? It's so fun.
Yeah.
Yes, we're out of the cave, and dude,
And this is
look
where we
at
get
that
this is where we get
shit.
the
Cool.
iconic
Yep.
stance.
And the music, and it still feels heavy.
Yep.
It's like he's wearing like big boots of some
Yep.
kind. You know?
Like big
Yeah.
motorcycle boots or
Exactly.
something.
And this line
Yep.
in the trailer, and just the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh
And
my
this suit-
God.
this is my favorite suit.
I like the Mark II.
Here's another
Little tidbit.
thing about this
Yeah.
scene in this suit.
Yeah.
Originally, Stan Winston made the suit.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Then what they did is they shot it, they photographed it, they replaced it completely digitally so they could add more flaps, add more
Right.
internal mechanisms
Add
and
the
everything.
movement,
But the
add
fact that
everything,
they
yeah.
had the suit as
Mhm.
reference,
Yeah.
that's what
Makes it
helped
look
make
seamless.
it look so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Again, we talk about it a lot, especially, coming from the visual effects background.
Right.
All of this stuff.
Right.
Having an actual practical set on
Yeah.
there that you can photograph and then completely recreate in a computer
Yep.
and make it look exactly like it does on set, but then add your own twist to it
Right.
is
Like all that
awesome.
little movement, obviously a practical suit
Yeah.
can't have all those gears. But when you have the real life reference and you know what the lighting should look
Yep.
like and how it reflects,
Yes.
you can't beat it.
It's game changer.
Yeah.
So, terabytes of
Terabytes of
calculations.
calculations.
The very first flight always
Sometimes
gives
you
me
gotta-
goosebumps.
yeah.
Dude,
Always gives me
it's-
goosebumps.
It is. You know what I feel like it comes from? It comes from Kevin Feige and the team watching Superman the movie
Yeah.
before production on this and knowing like the first flight, the first Iron Man flight is going to be huge. That's such a big
Super
deal.
huge, yeah.
That's such a big deal.
Lola. See? She's
Lola
into it.
loves it.
I
She's
love
into
the
it.
thing I love about the Blu-ray is it goes into all that stuff, and then also goes into how they created the HUD technology, the heads-up
Yeah.
display,
Yeah.
which was interesting because they kind of struggled figuring out like, do you put everything on the same plane as his face?
Right,
Do you
right,
give
right.
it depth when he moves? How does the HUD
How does it
technology
work? Yeah.
work?
Mhm.
And it's crazy because I
Yeah.
never really thought about it because you look at other characters who sort of live inside of another
Yeah.
suit.
Exactly.
You don't really get too
You don't
much
get that
like
perspective, yeah.
And that comes from the comic books.
Yeah.
That's what they were doing in the comics at that time. I
Yeah.
remember this iconic shot
Yeah.
from Avengers Disassembled where it's all black and you see Tony Stark and he's basically naked, like just kind of floating in there.
Yeah.
And there's just screens that are like 2 feet in front of him, a bunch of
Yeah.
Right,
screens.
right.
He's in an Iron Man suit.
Yeah.
But that's how he experiences it, is
Yeah.
this
Right.
like infinite space of
That's
blackness.
cool.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
He's
so
just
cool.
in a black space, yeah.
And then they played with it a little bit in Iron Man 3,
Yeah.
which I loved.
Dude, I want this. I wish this was converted into 3D. I wish that there was a world where people gave a shit about 3D to where Marvel would have already done this by now.
Yeah,
This Hulk and Iron Man 2 to just,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hector, you're just going to have to convert it yourself.
Yeah, you know how to do it.
I was thinking in my head, I'm like, if I tackle this frame by frame, how long would it take me?
50 years.
50 years.
I would need assets. I would
That's
need.
right. They would have rebooted Iron Man 3 times probably.
Yeah.
Bum, bum, bum.
Well, if I ever work at Disney and get into some kind of a talking about the weight.
Oops.
Yep, straight through the piano.
Straight to the house.
Crushes a classic car.
I love how when he was flying around, he's like, oh, don't want to be here, don't want to be here. And
Yeah.
then with one swoop.
Mm-hmm.
Oops.
That's great. if I ever work at Disney and get in any kind of position of power, the first thing I'm going to do is like, okay, we're going to convert Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, and Iron Man 2 into 3D. They'll be like, why? And I'll be like, because I said so.
Because I said so.
Do it for international markets. Shut the fuck up.
We're going to do the 20-year anniversary re-release.
Love
Yeah.
3D.
Yeah, exactly. Don't you want Iron Man to make more money in China? Shut up.
Oh, my God.
And then it's just for me to have a copy to like
That's
watch
right.
it at home. Oh, we're not going to release it in China? Okay, that's fine.
Don't
Give
worry
me
about it.
Just give it.
I am
give it.
curious, though, when they made this movie and they did the visual effects for it, because, talking about
If they
re-releasing in
kept,
IMAX.
if they kept any of the...
Well, I'm wondering if they did the visual effects in a full screen format, because we've done stuff.
Yeah.
We've done stuff where we've converted movies, and they would tell us, "Don't worry about converting this part of the frame.
Don't worry
because
about
it's
the
gonna
crop."
crop."
Yeah.
So I'm
True.
curious
Yeah, very true.
if they rendered stuff and it's like, oh, the top 10% of the
Well, you
or
know what?
25% is not.
I think, you don't really lose anything when you render full frames. It just takes a little bit more time.
Sure.
And then we know how they kind of adjust crop on the fly.
Exactly.
So maybe they do have the full frames of all this.
Oh,
What?
very important right here.
Oh, my God.
Other planets.
Seed
oh my
one.
God.
Seed
That's
one.
nuts.
Already.
Seed one.
And it's a joke because
Yes.
it's like, oh, he went up into space, visit other planets,
Right.
meaning the
Yeah.
moon or what, as like a joke.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
no.
No, this guy's
After-
going to fight
after this-
Thanos.
After this movie, Tony Stark was like, actually, Jarvis, yeah, let's upgrade those
Yeah.
fucking systems.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Let's get some space
Let's
suits
be
going.
space proof.
Yeah.
I want to go to the United States of space.
Also, a little bit of foreshadowing. We're here at the Disney Hall.
Right.
Yeah.
Who would have
Totally,
thought?
yeah.
Who would have thought?
I love this too, him drawing on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he is. Tony Stark is.
He is.
Yeah.
I mean, hello. How long would it take just for this sequence? Are you talking about converting into 3D?
Probably. Yeah, I think Uberbaldi's talking about that. It would
Uh,
take, for a team of artists, it would take weeks.
Yeah.
For
But
a
that's with the full
sequence.
studio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, if
Throw a
I
little
if
hot
I would
rod
want to
right
do
in there.
this, I would hire a very good company, and I'd be like, you've got 9 months, and
Yeah.
and John Favreau's
Yeah.
gonna come in, we're gonna oversee it, like
Mhm.
we're gonna do it right.
Yep.
And by that point, that similar team will have converted so many Marvel movies that
Yeah.
it's
Right.
like, you know what you're doing, you get the style.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's an MCU movie, let's do it.
Yep.
Party in
It'd
the
be
front. Party in the front,
I mean,
baby.
really, the only company who could do it, I think, is Stereo D.
Probably.
Yeah.
Really.
They're so
Probably.
experienced with the
Yeah.
Marvel Universe.
And with that long form conversion of
Yeah.
like, the movie's already done,
Yeah.
here's every frame, you don't have assets, go.
And all, like, clean up and everything.
Yeah.
They all are very experienced
So
with this.
great,
Considering they made like $3 billion just this year alone, they can afford it.
Right.
I think that's another hint to Obadiah Stane's comic book
Yeah.
costumes.
Sure don't.
Mean.
Hey.
That's a good cameo.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Yep.
Stane's like
Yep.
scarf thing.
Yeah.
And earlier when he was like rendering the suit, it went red and silver before it went red and gold,
Right.
which is like a Silver Centurion mark,
Yeah.
Iron Man armor that they were hinting at. Yeah. And then it went, I think even at one point, all full gold, which is another version like of the Mark 1.
Mm-hmm.
In the comic books, he had the Mark 1, then he just painted it gold for a second.
Son of Coal. Strategic Homeland Intervention, Enforcement, and Logistics Division. Jesus.
I will never remember that.
Nope. 10 years. Still don't.
Yeah.
I always mess up enforcement with espionage because in the comic books for a while it was that, but espionage, like
Oh,
spy
okay.
stuff.
Yeah.
But I think enforcement makes sense.
Yeah.
As soon as Homeland Security was a thing in the U.S., Marvel Comics was like,
They
dude, we got to use
Homeland.
Homeland.
Jumped all
Yeah.
over it, yeah.
Strategic Homeland.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's not like they didn't give you an opportunity to figure it out. They tell
know.
you. They've told you twice now.
I'm going to say
Yeah.
this right now. I still remember the first time I watched this movie. First time we hear Coulson say it, I was just like,
Huh?
Yeah.
I didn't know. Second time when he says it right here, I went, oh my God. I was like, oh my God, it's S.H.I.E.L.D. And I think my
You turn to
high-
the person next to you and they're like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think my high
Yeah.
school girlfriend at the time was like, what? Like, who?
Yeah.
What do you, who
What's a
cares?
shield?
Oh, wait, 2008? Where was I? That was 10 years ago. I was 20.
Yeah.
No, yeah. When you realized it was S.H.I.E.L.D., it's so
Yeah.
great. Because it's just seed planting. That's
Yeah.
all it is
Yeah.
open-endedness.
Yep.
She must not be wearing heels because, as we know from Avengers, when she's barefoot, she's the same height as Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
I'm also so glad that, like, I'm bummed that Pepper Potts, Gwyneth Paltrow wasn't in Civil War, but they made it work organically for the story. Oh, her and Tony are on a break.
They're beefing.
Yeah.
And that kind of helped, like, inform Tony's state of mind for that movie and why he was making certain decisions.
Absolutely,
Do you know what I mean? Like, at the beginning when it's like, and now Pepper Potts on the teleprompter and she's not there, and he's like, go break some eggs. Like, you're like, oh, he's already kind of messed up.
He's making different decisions because Pepper's not in his life.
But I am so happy that she was in Avengers, that she was in Age of Ultron, wasn't she, or no? She must have been, right? She must have been there at the party. I can't remember now. I'll check.
I don't really remember that movie.
I'll check.
I don't think so. I don't think she's there.
Shit, I don't know if I actually have it here. Yeah. Crap, I don't think I will. But the fact that she's in Infinity War, it makes me so happy, man.
Yeah.
Hector, I'm surprised you haven't taken an Iron Man tour of LA yet.
I know, Malibu, to go try to find wherever that house is supposed to be.
Yeah.
That address, 10800 Malibu Point.
I don't think that point exists, honestly.
I don't think so.
But also, like, go to the pier, go to Santa Monica Pier and get on the
Ferris wheel.
The Ferris wheel.
And have ice cream and go.
Yeah, exactly. And then hang out at the Disney Concert Hall for a little bit.
Right. Yeah, I should. I should do the Iron Man tour. Totally.
I did the Halloween tour. It was good.
That's right. I remember those pictures.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
Stark Estate. It's great.
Boss?
Uber Baldy says
They're
she was
adorable.
not in Ultron.
Yeah. Shot was completely out of focus.
Yeah.
That's okay.
It's hard, Adam. Adam, it's hard to do that,
I'm a
okay?
dick. I'm a dick, I know.
She wasn't in Ultron. That's a shame. I wonder if there was a reason for it, or maybe she was in. Did they
And
mention
here comes
her?
Christine
I don't know.
Everhart again.
And I like how they brought that character back too.
Yeah.
She's an Iron Man too.
Yep.
With her real life boyfriend, longtime maybe fiance, husband, Anthony, Sam Rockwell. Like her and Sam
really?
Rockwell
Oh,
are a
yeah.
thing in real life. Yeah. Which is how I think they got Sam Rockwell to be an Iron Man too.
Nope.
Actually, I have. Yeah.
Funny you mention it.
If they ever do an A-Force/Lady Liberators movie, I'd hope Pepper would be in it in addition to all the other women.
That'd be great.
Whoever the superhero women are, I think that they would be doing a disservice if they didn't try to get every prominent female character. Have a Haley Atwell cameo. To maybe in the past she's trying to set up like a female Avengers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To just have bring back Natalie Portman. Like everybody. That would be so good.
Yep. Yo, Bad Wobot, go to sleep. This is going to be on YouTube later.
God damn it, I'm so tired right now. I've got to go to bed for work. Can I watch the rest of this
There you
later?
go. Here's the
East Coast, LOL.
Here's the reveal.
That's true, Berbaldi. You remember. That's right. Tony and Thor mentioned Pepper and Jane each being off doing something.
That's right.
And trying to one-up each other with what the other's significant other is doing.
Yeah.
And again, it works. There's a lot of characters in that movie, man. But no excuse, because everybody's in Infinity War. After Infinity War came out, everyone's like, damn, now I think Age of Ultron sucks more because there's no excuse.
You're right. Exactly.
But I think it's all right. Very CG hand.
Yeah.
Is it?
That's a practical.
Is it?
Oh, no. That's a
That's
CG,
CG.
hand. Yeah.
Is he just going like this with like a green sock, and
Yeah,
then they're putting
basically.
in like a thing that's?
I don't know.
moving?
It looks practical to me. Obviously not the light, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, actually, I don't know. I think the animation on the hand when it moved was CG, but he might be wearing just a practical gauntlet.
I mean, he's walked into Comic-Con with plenty of them.
Yeah.
That's real.
Oh, shit.
God damn.
He's pissed, and this is a really powerful scene because
Yeah.
it's 2008. It's the war on terror.
Right.
It's the war in the Middle East.
Yeah.
which there's still conflict in the Middle East. And this is something that I think a lot of Americans especially can relate to, is like watching the news and just feeling helpless.
Yeah.
Right.
And this is wish fulfillment.
Yep.
In the same way Hulk is wish fulfillment, where like if you've ever been picked on and you want to beat the shit out of some bullies, he gets to Hulk out.
Right.
This is like you're watching the news and you can't do anything.
Yeah.
And innocent people are being taken advantage of and hurt and killed and worse. And he's like, I'm going to fly over there and kick their ass.
Yep.
Also, he seemed a little unhinged. Like, Tony's been very together the whole time.
Yeah.
Except for that scene.
PTSD is kicking in hard.
The PTSD is kicking in. Yep.
And his experience with Yinsen and learning about Gomira and his family.
It's very personal for him.
Love this armor up scene.
Oh, my God.
I kind of do miss the days. Like, I think the nanotech in Infinity War was cool, where he just like taps the chest and it like basically creates itself over his body. But I do love the full armoring up sequences. It's
I
really
just love
fucking
mechanical
cool.
sequences.
It's dope
all together. Yeah,
how everything pieces together.
So good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The final shot of the
Tony
first
just
trailer.
took an international flight by
That's
himself.
right.
Yep. Nice little screen wipe there.
Yeah.
Oh, the Jericho missile.
I assume you guys have seen the meme of the kid with the ice cream cone.
Of course.
So funny. Hector, really?
Oh.
Ice cream with sprinkles.
Yeah.
I have.
So
yes,
good.
I have.
I love it. It puts a smile on my face every time.
This guy, he always gets cast as a terrorist guy, too. He's a good actor.
See you, Bad Wobot. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, man. I do remember that deleted scene, Jesse Glaspie, and I think Ghostface Killer was in that.
Yep.
Yeah, I think
he's
you're
like,
right.
because he's like Tony Stark's, and then they go like this, and
Yeah.
then he keeps walking or whatever. In that deleted scene where Tony Stark has to pretend he's at a party off of a yacht somewhere in the Middle
Blu-ray
East.
has like, what, 11 deleted scenes or something?
It's a good Blu-ray, dude. It's
7?
pretty stacked. It's 2 discs.
Yep.
Good shit.
Big fan of the double discs.
Yes.
Yep.
Remember when they used to give a shit?
I remember. I
Special
remember. Yeah.
features?
Yeah.
The special features on that movie are great because they go very in depth into like the casting, the screen tests are on there, building the practical suits. There's a lot of good stuff.
Well, you cut to a movie like Creed
This is
getting released on Blu-ray, and
Oh, that was so
Creed comes out
disappointing.
and it's like, here's the trailer, and that's like some awful dumb thing. Oh my God.
And then they play it backwards.
Ice cream with sprinkles.
I hope that kid got some ice cream.
This was so cool.
Yep.
Dude, it's awesome.
So good.
Iron Man's the best.
Yep.
That kid's not scared of Iron Man. He doesn't care.
Yeah. I don't
He
give
wants,
a
he wants-
shit.
he wants to hug his dad.
Yep.
Thanks, Iron Man.
That guy just saved my life.
This kid's thinking, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Who are you? What are you?
This is good.
I'm Iron Man. Yep.
Love it. Love it.
So we don't see the fate of this character.
No.
What do you think happens? Do you think the village kills him?
He's all yours.
Probably.
You think?
Oh, they probably beat the shit out of him,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
Yeah.
I would.
I'm pretty sure they kill him. Oof.
Oh, this.
Here's our test shot
That's
from,
right.
from Legend
That's right.
3.
There it is.
There it is.
Put this.
Boom.
Put this.
Make that into 3D.
This shot right there.
Boom.
Boom.
Into
Right
3D.
there.
This was our test shot. This
Yeah.
determined whether or
Wow.
not we could convert movies to
Yep.
3D.
And
why-
have a job.
Yeah.
That's why I want this.
I mean, if you look at it as a shot, it's like very smart because it's
Yeah.
got all the rocks that
Yeah.
like, you know, form like a step.
Here's the
Yeah.
tricky thing, Uberbaldi. Here's the tricky thing. You need to have the 2-disc Blu-ray or DVD to see the deleted scene we're talking about. I'm pretty sure because Uberbaldi says that he's got the Phase 1 box set.
Yeah.
That was only 1 disc of Iron Man.
Ooh, that's
And then
that's dumb.
and then 1 disc of Incredible Hulk, 1 of Iron Man 2. Thor has 2 discs because it's Blu-ray and 3D Blu-ray.
Ah, right.
That's the box set. But you get a great bonus of like Shield was like the disc 10 that had a bunch of cool stuff on there.
Oh, this sequence is great.
This guy's great.
Yeah, he's really
If you
cutthroat.
see a shot, you take it.
That's right.
He's awesome.
Real cutthroat. Does he show up in the sequels?
I think he's in Iron Man 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's right, he is. When Hammer comes in to armor up the War Machine suit.
Right.
Dun, 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 dun. It's actually also been a while since we've seen Rhodey, and now here he comes.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, this is his job.
Yeah.
Military liaison.
Yep. Let me make a call.
Yep.
I have an idea.
So good. Uberbaldi says Village 100% kills him. Well, look up online on like the MCU Wikia. I think the character's fate is unknown, and in my guidebook it just says again he is delivered to the villagers for them to exact justice. Doesn't say he lives or dies.
Yeah.
Whereas Raza, I think he's dead. Driving with the top down.
Why are you out of breath?
Yeah.
I thought you said you were driving. Whiplash. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Nice little nod. This shot.
So good.
Bye.
When this showed up in that Comic-Con trailer,
Dude,
I was like, oh, damn, here we go.
Yep.
You can actually YouTube the panel. It's there. It exists. You cleared a folk shoot up.
Supersonic flight.
Yep.
According to Jesse Glaspie, that actor shows up in The Punisher as a different character too. In the Punisher TV show, Netflix show? It's awesome.
This is all done really, really well.
Yes.
Yeah.
You just feel like you're in the moment with Iron Man.
For sure.
Feels like you're in the sky, man.
Yeah.
Bye.
He's good too, yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like a man.
No,
Rhodey knows.
this is that's the old Iron Man theme from the 60s cartoon show, Marvel superhero show. So funny. I love that stuff.
Hit me. His face.
Kind of. I don't know if I should say though.
Oh no.
An Iron Man.
Like a man made of iron.
Just the proof of like the impact that this had on pop culture.
Yeah.
Wasn't too long after this that Barack Obama, when he was president, had some press conference or something talking about military spending.
Yeah.
And he made a joke and he goes, "What I'm saying is we're building Iron Man."
Yep.
He said that shit.
Yeah.
And it was so like, wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Like even Barack watches this. Awesome. Or he might be an old school fan.
Probably not. I mean,
I don't know,
maybe.
man.
He's a nerd. Maybe.
He is a nerd.
Maybe. You take it.
You take it.
You get a clear shot, you take it. Rhodey has him in his phone as the Starkster.
The Starkster.
It's funny. Dude,
Yeah.
not even breaking contact
No.
with Rhodey. Like, you got a clear shot, take it. I love that guy.
Good shoot.
The stakes in this scene are so low comparatively
Yeah.
to the rest of the Marvel Cinematic
Right.
Universe, and it's still
Training camp.
thrilling.
Think about the next time Tony had to save people out of the sky. It was
Yep.
like 12
Barrel
people
monkeys.
falling all
Barrel
at
monkeys,
once.
yeah.
Which I
barrel
love that
monkeys.
scene.
Such a great sequence.
Yeah. I don't like how soft his face is right there.
Yeah, real
Oh,
soft.
yeah.
Yeah.
That honey glow.
Yeah.
It's not that simple.
This movie's very funny.
Yeah.
Good comedic timing.
Yeah.
That's the suit.
Yeah.
That's what he looks like in the comic books. Look at the pendant.
I'm rich and mad and bald. Yeah. Originally, it was supposed to be the end of the party, where she wakes up and sees him.
Mm-hmm.
And these are like gay jokes. They don't quite hold up, but. Did he not have a procedure for how to get the suit off? They're like winging it.
Well, I think it might be a little damaged.
Yeah.
Maybe they bent a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's definitely bullet holes.
Those classic Lucas wipes, man.
Yeah.
This movie's a classic. They filmed this probably in L.A. somewhere.
Probably.
Oh, we're in the Middle East.
Alabama Hills, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Blvd was trying to point out the Captain America shield Easter egg.
In Iron Man 2?
No, just now.
There was?
It's on the desk in the back. It's the prototype shield.
Oh, interesting.
That he'll actually lift up.
Oh, I thought that was
on
only
all
Iron Man
silver
2.
shield.
No, they put it not all silver. No, the one that's like half a shield with like little,
pieces of it.
Here, I'll try to
Yeah,
find it.
find the picture. I don't want to rewind this.
Don't. Trinkets to kill a prince.
Oh, that's right. I remember now. And then Iron Man 2, he actually uses it to like wedge.
To prop the
Yeah.
the thing. I'm trying to look
That's
for
right.
a shot of it here. I don't know if I'll be able to find it. Let's see.
Yeah, in that sequence.
Yeah.
That was actually the photograph that I was mentioning earlier.
Yeah.
When they
the
show
ripped
his arm, yeah.
Nope. Yeah, see. Remember in this scene where Coulson picks up a thing, he's like, "Where'd you get this?" And he's like, "Oh, I need that. That's exactly what I need."
Yep. I remember that.
That's that buff ass arm too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude. Look at that.
Sexy.
Look at that.
Ripped arm.
Rule all of Asia. Dum, bum, bum, bum. Such a good bit, man. The little theme.
Hey, Taylor, you're very welcome. This is a lot of fun for us, too.
Yeah, this is great. I haven't rewatched this movie in its entirety, I think, since we did the last marathon.
Guys, I think I'm going to watch every fucking movie after this.
And then just watching it with you guys where we can, like, really geek out about it. It's different, too. Like,
guys, I spent 4 hours making a Twitter thread about different film today.
Cool.
Like, this is my jam.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, Lola,
People are listening to this on a podcast and
Lola.
like, who's he talking to?
Yeah, I know, right?
He
They're
said doggy.
Why are they are they talking to a child? See, even when they have this guy here, they have the 10 rings in the background.
Yeah.
Like, it's very Mandarin influenced.
I'm convinced that at some point they were going to reveal the Mandarin.
Well,
in some capacity
originally,
or something.
there were early drafts of Iron Man that the Mandarin was the bad guy, not Ironmonger.
Right.
And I think they very wisely were like, let's save him for later because the Mandarin's a lot, and let's focus on Tony Stark in this movie. And Obadiah Stane's the easiest villain in the Iron Man Rogues Gallery to do in this, for other than maybe Justin Hammer. But it's even easier for Obadiah because they put him in Stark Industries.
Yeah.
And not just that, it's easier to explain a guy that just takes his technology and just bulks it up, you know?
Correct.
Beefing up that suit. Yo, just hack everything.
So smart, so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, our last Iron Man movie was 2013. That's 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And watching this really makes me go like, I like the Iron Man movies.
Yeah.
I would be down and so excited if they made a fourth one.
Yeah,
would you want
absolutely.
Jon Favreau to come back to close it out?
I would.
I think that would
Hell
be
yeah.
really special. I think I would like that a lot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Honestly, him, even if Shane Black came back to do it, I think that'd be cool too. But I think Shane Black was a really great vibe for that movie.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think Jon Favreau coming back would be really cool.
Yeah.
You could do so much with it. You could do Mandarin. You could introduce Riri Williams.
Yeah, hand it off.
You could have, Pepper and Tony like having a kid. You could have him retire at the end of the movie and
Exactly.
I
still.
like this line too.
Yeah.
I watched a really cool video on YouTube that takes this scene, and this scene is basically the exact opposite of what Thanos says later on in the future. about just his justification for why he's doing the things he does. The exact opposite.
I feel like that's a Thanos line too. Like, I know what I have to do, and I'm the only one that can do it.
Yeah.
You know, Fuck, now I want to watch that. Can you send that to me?
Yeah, cool. I mean, it's literally just a compilation of clips, but it's great.
Okay.
It's all these clips.
Maybe we're putting.
But it's the not bad guy, but it's the it's this somewhat of an anti-hero who's like, now I have to do the right thing, and it plays true to like what like Thanos believes what he's doing is right.
Correct.
Absolutely.
And maybe we are giving this movie too much credit, but I feel like a lot of people don't give it enough credit to where there really is so much of the foundation of what this whole franchise ended up being in this movie.
Well, I thoroughly believe that Marcus McFeely and all of the writers and directors who have come forward.
Watch this and
they'll
study it.
They'll go back and they'll watch the individual. Like if they're making a Captain America movie, they go back to 1 and 2 and see what can they bring in from that was peppered into those movies, and then watch Avengers, Avengers 2. Like what are loose ends that they can tie up? What are themes that they can intertwine between other movies and characters and all that sort of stuff.
What's really remarkable is that this is laying the foundation for basically the whole MCU without feeling like, oh, we got gypped at the end, that's just an intro movie,
or
like
beating you over the head with it.
Right, exactly. Or making people like feel dumb because they don't know these things or whatever.
Which they went maybe a little too far in that direction for Iron Man 2. I feel like they learned from that. And a lot of people would say that that's what Infinity War is too. It's just it hits the ground running and does it. But I think it still does a good enough job of letting you know who these characters are that if you happen to miss a movie, you're like, okay, who are Scarlet Witch and the Vision? Okay, that's cool. Great reveal. Great stuff. Uber Baldy's got a question about the Mandarin. What if they introduce the Mandarin as an enemy to Doctor Strange and Tony comes in to help because of his past experience with the Ten Rings?
Not bad.
Like that Doctor Strange is involved. I don't like that idea because I would want the Mandarin to be just Iron Man's bad guy.
Right.
Like the Ten Rings, the Mandarin, it's all trying to destroy Tony Stark. But Doctor Strange should be in it, and to see a great example of how that cameo can kind of work, but still it's not like a team-up movie.
Right.
Read that Brian Michael Bendis comic book I just talked about, that Iron Man Volume 1 reboot, because in it the villain is a woman named Madame Mask, who she is an Iron Man villain in the comics. She's also in Agent Carter Season 2, but she's an Iron Man villain, and all of a sudden, she's normally a tech villain. She's like possessed by a demon. There's like some sorcery shit going on. So Tony Stark goes to Doctor Strange to try to get some help, and like he helps and he's in it, but then Doctor Strange has to like peace out, and it makes sense in the story that it's Tony going on this mission, and it's Tony doing
why
the thing.
why it's his mission specifically for this.
Really great example of how that can work.
Right.
This scene is so tense.
Yeah.
I remember watching this movie for the first time, and I was just like, I was stressed as shit watching this.
And your balls just suck back up into your body. You're just like,
for me, it's my butthole puckering.
It's like, ooh, Adam, you can now pre-order the new Halloween soundtrack.
Oh, I know.
Pre-order it.
I know.
Did y'all pre-order Batman the Animated Series on Blu-ray?
Not yet. No.
Still working on it.
I'm still trying to recover from all those bills I spent on those Ninja Turtles figures.
I know.
So.
I also pre-ordered Avengers Infinity War 3D. Of course, I'm not going to get it until the beginning of October.
Yeah, I know. I remember you told us that.
Sorry, man. I'm mad about it.
Yeah.
It's also a little creepy too. Like
he's very creepy.
It can be sweet, but because of the music, because we know he's a bad guy, we're like, fuck this guy, man.
Get out of there,
Pepper.
You're gross. Yeah. Get out of there, girl. Get out of there.
So smart.
You would have heard the Windows disconnect sound, the boop.
Yeah, right.
Just put it in your pocket.
He knows.
And she's like, my dress doesn't have pockets.
Goddamn women's fashion.
Puzzle.
Oh, he knows.
And that's Tony's office, right?
I don't know.
Or is it Obadiah's?
No, it's Obadiah's.
Okay.
Oh, is it?
Or actually, I don't know.
I thought it was Tony's because of the car that was on the screensaver.
Mm-hmm. But then, what was he just been commandeering?
Tony's office. Oop. Miss Potts. Yep. Right now.
Bye.
Nope. He's like, what's happening? What's happening? What's
guys,
happening?
Clark Gregg is the heart of this franchise.
Yeah.
I love Clark Gregg.
Yeah.
I love this actor. What's his name? Peter something from Christmas Story. John
Oh, that's the
Favreau's
little
buddy?
boy. That's the little boy
yeah.
from Christmas Story. Yeah.
He like shaved his head to have the
Yeah.
cul-de-sac.
Oh, no way. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fake cul-de-sac. You could still see the 5 o'clock shadow.
Now that I'm watching it, yeah.
You'll shoot your eye out with that technology.
One of my favorite lines is about to happen.
Yep.
God, he's yelling at him.
That's terrifying.
I'm sorry. I'm not Tony Stark. That's great.
Yep.
But
That
the
just
way
shows
when
you how
he,
unique
when
he
he
is.
screamed at him, his tie went up.
Yeah.
Such a good shot, man. That was a great performance.
This scared the shit out of me in the theater.
What he yelled?
No.
Pepper Potts
3,
calling.
Oh,
2,
right here.
1. That sound?
Yeah.
I remember being in the theater being like, oh, God, what
Yeah.
is that?
Fuck. Golden egg. Tony, my boy. It's also Obadiah Stane, though, too. He got cast in the role, saw the comic book version, and was like, great, I get to shave my head. I'm excited. And then
Yeah.
at one point they told him, like, oh, you're not going to have to shave your head. And then he was disappointed.
Uh-huh.
So then they're like, you know what, you can shave your head.
Just
He's like,
do it.
great. So then he shaved his head.
That's cool. He looks great.
Yeah. He does. But Jeff Bridges also has, like, a great head of hair.
He
Yeah,
does,
exactly. Exactly. He is the dude.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That smoke effect is a
Yeah.
nice added
Yeah.
touch.
Robert Downey plays it like he's legitimately having this thing ripped
Yeah.
out of his chest.
Mm-hmm. People forget that part of acting has to involve acting like you're in pain,
Reaction,
acting
Yeah.
like
yeah.
you're paralyzed, acting like your body is going through things.
Yeah.
With the added help of makeup and CG effects,
Right,
but
right,
still,
right.
like Robert Downey's so good at that.
Yeah.
Robert Downey, people have observed that he does a thing as Iron Man where he grabs his right arm,
Yeah.
you know, when he's like hurting and
Yeah.
stuff, and
Yeah.
like all of these actors are so good at this stuff, but Robert Downey Jr. is really great
Yep.
at acting that way. Like nothing happened, but he
Yeah.
had to like, you know,
Yeah. React like he just got something ripped out of his chest.
you son of a bitch.
You don't even know what's coming, dog.
I love that Dutch angle to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How the ears are bleeding.
Yep.
Everything's tilted, and I would not be surprised if this is one of those scenes that like they knew they were shooting this today, and they were like, "Guys, we don't have the dialogue yet.
Yeah.
Do you want to go into the trailer and bang this out?"
Yeah.
And then Robert Downey, Jeff Bridges, John Favreau, you know, would go into
The
a trailer
creative
and like,
geniuses
yeah.
work together. Yeah.
Jeff Bridges has said this is a $200 million independent movie.
Yeah.
Is what Iron Man was. This movie should not be this good. Such a good
Yeah.
bad guy.
Terrifying.
We are at about 1 hour, 38 minutes. This is the third act. Clark Gregg, man. I also love
He's
that
listening in. You can tell he's listening in.
Yes.
He's like, all right, the shit's hitting the fan.
Yep.
I also love that this movie introduced the idea that SHIELD agents are just wearing suits.
Yeah.
Right.
And I kind of missed that. Like, I know we got to the Avengers, and now we're seeing the SHIELD tactical.
Right.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
like the comic
everything.
booky.
Yeah, and it's like that's cool.
I like
but
when they're a little
also-
bit more Men in Black.
Yes,
This is
just
definitely
walking
Men in
around like
Black, yeah.
that's just a bunch of men and women in suits. Those are
Yeah.
SHIELD agents.
Yeah.
yeah.
This is so great too, thematically that Pepper
I
Potts
want to use that
saves his
rolly
life.
thing to get around, dude. Come
Right?
on.
I would have laid on and been like, I gotta go.
You can move real fast on that thing.
Can you imagine how funny that would have been if he like stopped, put it on his chest, and was like,
Yeah, I mean that's the genius of Tony Stark right there.
Oh, you almost had it.
Ay, cabrón.
He's really dying. Cabrón. He's really dying, man.
Yeah.
Pinche Tony Stark.
Yep.
Dummy.
Dummy done saved the whole MCU.
That's right.
Yeah, he did.
He saved the
Yeah,
entire
that's right.
MCU right here.
If it wasn't for Dummy, there'd be no Marvel
There'd be
Cinematic
no more
Universe.
MCU.
First it was Pepper Potts, then Dummy.
Yep.
And I liked how that shot of the Dummy, too. They kept it where the 2 bolts were up here, so
Yeah,
it looked like
so it
little
looked like
eyes.
eyes. Yeah.
Little Johnny Five.
A little what's it called?
Tapper robot.
Wally?
Wally, there
Wally,
you go.
yeah.
Wally.
Not Dummy, but Wally.
Did Wally come out the same year as this?
dude.
Really?
It's a big year for robots.
Big year.
Robots in
end
disguise.
E.
Yeah.
The missing piece.
Okay, hop in there.
Go,
Got it.
I want to see him
go.
get in there. Like,
Yeah.
Right?
Like, what do you do?
Yeah, where do
How
your legs go? Another deleted scene in this. Oh, no. Okay, this is a
later
great
on.
scene.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Nope.
So the thing about Terrence Howard, there were rumors that he was difficult to work with, that they actually
Yeah.
didn't get along when they filmed this
Yeah.
movie.
Mm.
It's also kind of known that he was the highest paid actor
Right.
Yeah.
on the
right,
film
right.
because he was signed
I mean, he
first.
was the.
He was
Yeah.
cast before Robert
Yeah.
Downey Jr.
He was the attracting star here.
So
at
there's
this
a
point.
lot of. It sucks because ideally in a perfect world, he would still be Rhodey.
Yeah.
Edward Norton would still be Hulk.
Yeah.
Every
Yep,
actor
yep.
that signed on to one of these movies could have seen it out, 10 years later. Ideally, I would love it if they had those opportunities as long as they wanted to do it.
Right.
And I know that when he was recast for the sequel, that he was asked about it in an interview, and he said,
love
Terrence
this.
Howard said, it was the shock of a lifetime.
Yeah.
is what
Wow,
said. So
he said that?
He very much was like publicly like, this was
Yeah.
not my choice. Like, I didn't walk
Yeah.
away from the role.
Yeah.
He did. He did a podcast talking about it too, and he
Did
went
he?
kind of in depth about it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it seemed like it came down to contract negotiation, which again,
Right.
coming from the first movie where here's the highest paid actor,
Yeah.
and then they're doing Iron Man 2, I'm
Right.
sure that it was maybe in Robert Downey's contract if he found out, like, hey, I should be getting paid more than Terrence
Right,
Howard.
right.
But then Terrence Howard was like, cool, Iron Man 1, I did it. Here's Iron Man 2. Here's what we're asking. And Disney, Marvel, whoever, they were probably like, look, man, again, rumors, you're difficult to work with.
Yep.
Robert Downey Jr. had a tough time working with you, and you're asking for maybe more than we think you
Right,
should
right.
get.
Yeah.
So we'll get Don Cheadle for that amount.
Yeah.
And that's not an upgrade, not a downgrade. It's a side grade. They're both great, but like it's a bummer. It's a
Yeah.
bummer that he didn't.
Especially with this.
Well, also it goes to be a lesson. Don't be a dick. Like if it's
True.
it's really true that he was being an asshole on set, then don't be a dick.
I hope that's not the case, and I hope,
Right.
and which sucks if it's not the case. Then it's just like bad rumors being spread to
Right,
make them
right,
look
right.
bad. But that is the lesson here. The
But-
lesson is if you get cast in one of these movies. I don't know what it's like to actually work with these actors,
Yeah.
but they all seem super nice,
Yeah.
legit, and they all seem like they like each other.
Right.
If you get cast in one of these movies, you better be chumming it up with
Exactly.
everybody, getting people gifts, just being the best. Don't be a diva.
agree.
Don't
I
be
agree.
however you may have operated as an actor in your other parts of your career and other
Yeah.
movies, other projects. For the MCU, I feel like it is a little bit of a tight-knit family, and like
Right.
they look out for each other and they
Right.
like each other.
Yeah.
The way Chris
Absolutely.
Hemsworth messes with director Taika Waititi,
Taika Waititi.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
you know what I mean, and
Did you
vice
see the
versa.
picture he posted on Thor's birthday?
Yep.
He flipped him off.
Yep.
That kind of thing. where
Called
it's
him a
just like,
piece of shit.
yeah, yeah, it's great. And Hemsworth,
It's so great.
they all kind of tease each other, and Evans and Robert Downey Jr. and all these actors. That's kind of how they're like, and that's what I would,
That's the environment I feel like they want to build.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if Terrence Howard didn't
It's a
vibe
very
with that,
family setting.
yeah,
Say-
like
and-
if
yeah.
Terrence Howard acted like he was the highest paid actor there, and that's the reason why he was there,
It's a
then maybe
bummer.
it wasn't a good role for him. And I
Maybe-
also don't necessarily see him as a big franchise actor either.
Sure. But
This kind of reminds me of the Hulk shot.
yeah,
From the Avengers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
very much so.
Very much,
And
now that I'm
again,
rewatching it,
speaking
yeah.
of the Hulk, a lot of those rumors about Terrence Howard, I've also heard a lot of that same stuff about Edward Norton. And
yeah.
it's a bummer
Exactly,
because I thought
exactly.
Edward Norton did a great job as
Right,
well.
right,
That it's
exactly.
like he had to go and do, PR and be like, no, that's just the way we make movies. There was discussions. There was when maybe he was like maybe he's a dick.
Exactly.
And when living in LA, you kind of hear that stuff. I forget who I've met where they're like, yeah, so and so that I know worked with Edward Norton or was an assistant.
Yeah.
So and so, and he is a dick, and I'm like, that sucks because he's a great actor. It sucks when that ego. Don't be a dick.
Damn.
So cheesy.
So I'm going to destroy you with 50 caliber machine guns.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. They died. No, they're probably alive.
By the way, this freeway is nowhere in LA. I've been on every freeway, and this one is not in anywhere.
A lot of the suit makes him sounds demonic.
Yeah.
Collateral damage, Tony.
Boom.
Like, he pushed him onto another car that he crushes to save this one family.
Yep.
And what a great way to raise the stakes is Jarvis telling us, so the power is at 18%.
Like you're running low,
My favorite is when he's eventually, just leave it on screen and stop telling me.
Yeah.
That woman got the fuck out of there.
Yep.
She's like, I'm protecting my kids.
That woman was smart.
I gotta go.
That guy might have died.
That motorcyclist?
Yeah.
Probably died, yeah.
Or heavy injuries.
Yeah.
I think this ending was also changed quite a bit.
Yeah. So cheesy. Stain is so cheesy.
Yeah.
Are you sure this isn't a freeway in like Santa Monica somewhere? Near the airport?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, there's the Roxxon Corporation. Did you see that in the background?
The very famous Roxxon Corporation?
Roxxon Corporation, yeah. That we see now in Cloak and Dagger. They were on Agent Carter.
There was a scene in this deleted scene where Rhodey actually comes in and crashes into Obadiah.
Really?
Hits him with his car. It's so dumb.
Wow.
And then Tony rips the roof off the car, and he's like, "You couldn't just open the door?"
Gwyneth Paltrow also does some very good acting when there's nothing there acting.
Yeah.
That green screen,
The green screen
Jon Favreau's like,
acting.
okay, and now Ironmonger's flying into the sky.
Yeah.
And she's like,
Oh, mira, there it goes.
Yeah. Mira, guacha, mira, they're in the sky, mira, guachale.
Dun, 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 dun.
You notice this guy's technology isn't burning as efficient because there's a lot of black smoke behind him.
Oh, yeah, it's not clean.
Yep.
He doesn't care about the environment.
No, not at all.
He don't give a shit.
That is a good little detail.
Oh.
Bye.
Did he say the line, I know the math, do it? That's one of my favorite Iron Man lines. And he's just gonna fall on another family.
That's right. That's terrifying.
So good though.
Yeah.
Tony, don't do it. Don't take your glove off.
Aye.
Had to look at his hand. Shit, oh shit.
Hey, shit. He's in like 4 shots in the HUD armor, in the HUD view.
That's dope.
Took him 10 years, but Tony finally cracked the nut of getting the armor into space with no ice buildup.
Yep.
That's right.
It's a tough problem.
Yeah. He's whispering.
If I was Tony Stark's friend and he told me directions like that, I would be freaking out. I'd be like, dude, I don't know what the fuck.
Left?
Open up all the circuits. Did you say open up all the
master
circuits?
override?
What are you talking?
Yeah.
I'd be sitting there Googling like, what?
This is why you're not taking over Stark Industries.
Thank you.
Uber says that highway's in Long Beach. That's why I don't know it.
Oh, okay.
I don't hang out in Long Beach.
Oh, that's right. They did shoot some of it in Long Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were shooting. Zoe Saldana tells a really good story. When they were shooting stuff in Long Beach, they were shooting Avatar at the same time.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, cool.
And she used to go to the Iron Man set for their catering because the catering was better.
Yeah, of course. I would too.
That's pretty dope. Yeah, are his legs in the legs of the Ironmonger, or is his legs like folded up? Is he sitting like Native American style, like just sitting there?
I think his
He's got
legs.
some pedals in there.
I think, given how tall it is, his legs are only midway through the thigh
body,
or a little bit above the thigh.
Yeah.
So are his legs like locked like that? Like, or can he bend
Yeah,
his knees?
he can't bend his knees because there's no room to bend his knees, and also his arms are like halfway into the biceps.
I imagine he's like seated in there.
I hope
like a
yeah.
Megazord.
Like
So
a
it's like-
like a
but
mech.
it's
Yeah,
like it's like stilts for him.
Yeah.
He's just kind of like
Even if Ironmonger bends his knees, he doesn't bend his knees.
no,
Yeah.
no.
Okay, I got it. I figured it out. That is pretty ironic.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not clever. He was so clever
Yep.
until the end, and he's like, and now?
I imagine Jeff Bridges would say something similar to what Syndrome said, where he goes, "Oh, now you got me monologuing."
Yeah.
Oh, charging that suit.
The first use of crazy sky disruptions in the
Yeah.
MCU.
Yeah, crazy sky laser.
Like energy beams
That's
going into
right.
the sky.
So is he died or just like fried?
I think he's
already?
cooked on the inside.
Yeah.
Really?
With all that energy passing through him, yeah,
Well,
he's
and
basically microwaved.
And there was an alternate
Where he
ending to
lived?
that where he falls and Tony grabs him.
Yeah.
Or either he grabs him or Obadiah grabs Tony, and he has to just like remove the other arm,
Yeah.
other piece
okay.
of armor to basically
Okay.
let him fall to his death.
yeah.
But yeah, he's dead.
Nobody survived that.
Clearly.
Very clearly. He's
Right, Kaiju?
He's barbecued.
Hi, Kaiju. You little monster. Hey, bud.
This movie's
Lots
so
of
good, you
doggies
guys.
around here today.
Yeah. Dog City. Be nice, Kaiju.
Yeah, I remember that deleted scene.
Yeah.
And right now you're like, oh my god, did he die?
Right?
Yeah.
If you don't know comic books and know this is going to go forever, you're like, no.
Yeah,
what,
right?
What a crazy
Like, no.
one-off movie. He dies. Oh, he's alive. This
Who
is
is
some
the
bullshit.
Iron Man?
I don't like how they updated the photo, but they updated the photo. Originally, that picture was a picture that was taken from a paparazzi as they were filming Iron Man.
Oh, really?
They put that in there, and they printed out newspaper when they filmed this scene because it does look like a
Like a
legit
paparazzi.
Yeah.
like taking a picture of Iron Man where he was glowing in the chest and the eyes. And I think it came down to a rights issue.
I gotcha.
That
They didn't want to pay the paparazzo
But-
for
but
the picture. Yeah.
between when the movie was in theaters to where he's holding that thing up, you can tell that they
Yeah.
digitally replaced it with like a closer photo, still
Yeah.
kind of trying to evoke that same image.
Yeah.
And then he folds it, and it's a little wonky, but it's a bummer.
It's okay.
Wait, so does... Hey.
Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Captain.
It is Captain Marvel.
Yeah, dude.
Now it
That's his
is,
first
yeah.
rodeo.
Yeah. Yeah.
And here's the big reveal.
Yeah, but at this
did
point,
anybody in
as
the
a
theater
comic
just, like,
book
crap
fan, I was
themselves?
like, I was like, yeah,
and
dude.
I knew what S.H.I.E.L.D. was.
Yes.
So I heard that, and I was like, I've been sitting here for 2 hours, and I didn't realize what this was.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yep. I also love the joke about, like, he's my bodyguard.
Yeah,
That's really flimsy. It's like, that's what it was in the comics.
Yeah,
And it's real stupid.
Cool.
They even still do it to this day where Spider-Man and Peter Parker ran Parker Industries for a little while, which was like a successful science thing, and Spider-Man became an employee of Parker Industries. So like the CEO, Peter Parker, would sometimes be next to Spider-Man, where he was being I guess played by
Body double or
Hobby
whatever.
Brown,
Yeah.
the Prowler, like his ally friend, the Prowler, was body doubling him. Or Spider-Man would just be swinging around, and they'd be like, "Oh, it's Peter Parker's bodyguard," to try to cover that up. So stupid.
Outside when we were dancing, you went to go get a drink, and you left me there? Uh-huh.
It's funny. It's funny how all he had to say, what's his name had to say is, "This isn't my first rodeo."
Yeah.
And we make this huge assumption that it's Captain Marvel.
Yep.
Now we do.
Now we do. Yeah.
Yeah.
We know what's up?
But when we heard this back in 2008, we were like, okay, sure.
But it's just impressive that their 21st film will kind of tie into their first film. Make references to the first movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also their like 11th or 10th movie or something, Guardians of the Galaxy with Ronan, and it's kind of phenomenal.
It's pretty brilliant. Yeah.
This was something I completely was not expecting in this movie to happen. Just stick to the cards, man. Okay.
This is such a good moment.
And this is like bum bum ba-da-dum,
Dude,
ba-da-dum,
I was
bum.
so jacked. That
And then
smile,
it just ends, and I'm like,
Come
what?
on.
Yeah.
I am Iron Man.
This was crazy because, I mean, up to
Yeah.
this point, everything that I had grown up on was primarily DC movies.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was all about maintaining the secret
Yes.
Secret
identity.
identity.
Yes.
You got to protect your identity because you got to protect. It's not
Protect the
it's-
people you
it's
love,
to
yeah.
protect the people that you love.
Yeah.
And so for this movie, right out the gate in the first entry at the end to go, I am Iron Man, and then
Right.
from then forward, identities have never really been a thing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I would say with Spider-Man and like
Daredevil and
Ant-Man,
Yeah.
you know,
kind of.
there are select
Yeah.
characters
Yeah.
that still like identities they play a role, but for the most part,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
Iron
That's
Man.
where they did kind of turn it on its head.
Yeah,
for sure.
Iron Man, Captain America.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
it's not about that.
It's really, this movie is a great example of taking what the best version of the character is, but also making a movie that's like, it is right in line with what the comic books were at the time.
Yeah.
And the comic
right.
books at the time, even like recently, even though he'd done it a couple times and then it was like magically undone, recently Tony Stark had revealed his identity as Iron Man.
Right.
And it's like, you know what? Let's go there with the comic
Right.
books and let's
Yeah.
actually, if all of the characters who could pull it off, it would be Iron Man, Tony
Right,
Stark. Like the
exactly.
Fantastic Four, they've got money, they've got fame.
Right.
Spider-Man, street level characters, S.H.I.E.L.D. Those guys
S.H.I.E.L.D.,
are. Oh, dude, and the War Machine turrets got
Yeah.
me pumped too. I was like,
Yeah.
War
Oh,
Machine.
yeah.
I was
Oh
like,
my
that's gotta be
God.
part 2.
That's
That's
what I
gotta be
wanted
War
to see.
Machine. That's
Yeah.
gotta be
Yeah.
War Machine.
And also, you have to think about the state of comics right before this came out.
Yeah.
When this came out, it was right before Civil War.
Yes.
The comic book run of Civil War.
Yeah.
And so that kind of like, I don't know, it kind of informs like, I think Feige might have been looking at it like, holy crap, like look at where we can go in the future.
Yeah.
Like look at this giant
Absolutely.
collaboration.
I mean, when Captain America Civil War came out, the Russo brothers were saying Feige had been already planning that for 10 years.
Right, exactly.
Which is close to about where the comic books started doing that.
Right, right.
So he knew, even with that storyline, without adapting it word for word, panel for panel,
yeah.
the power of what if Captain America and Iron Man's ideologies. He knew that shit. And again, back to this thing being about how it's Iron Man. What's one of the best things about Iron Man is honestly his origin story.
Right.
So they knew to put that in the movie. They weren't going to
Absolutely.
just skip that and be like, here's Tony Stark. He spent some time in a cave, blah, blah, blah. No, that shit's compelling.
Right.
So we got that, but then also by the end of the movie, he says, I am Iron Man.
Yeah.
That's because that's what the comics were at the time. And that's truly the more interesting side of the character is when he is like 38 years old. Not when he's
Exactly,
20,
exactly.
not when he's 25, not when he, but when he's like already an established,
he's establishing his career.
Yes.
Like he's very confident in the direction his life is going. He's maybe beat alcoholism at this point.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
he's in a different phase of his life.
All that's missing in the movie representation of the character is like, oh, he's also a founding member of the Avengers.
Yeah.
But eventually
no
we
big
got
deal.
to that.
Yeah.
And that's really like Iron Man at the core of the character.
For
yeah.
sure.
So
This movie holds up so incredibly
it's
well.
Still an amazing movie.
10 years later, and because of the fact that it was such a big independent movie, very easily you could have looked back at it and you'd been like, man, this movie is dated even 10 years later.
Yes.
Yep.
But it holds up. Like they did I would say they did a great job, all things considered, sort of like how they had to go about getting the money and being able to do this themselves. Because I imagine, like, you look at a lot of movies, and look, Star Wars, also it's a very different time. It's the 70s.
Yeah.
But that movie also, for the most part, like, still holds up pretty well considering how old it is. But even like 10 years, if you were to watch Star Wars in 1987,
Yes.
you probably looked at it and like, damn, this shit still works real good.
Yes.
And I don't doubt that we'll look back at this movie in particular 30 years from now when it has its 40th anniversary.
Absolutely.
And you're like, damn, it's still
dope.
good. It's still good.
Yeah.
So here's what happens in the MCU after the scene that we're about to come up. So like I said, the only other S.H.I.E.L.D. influence was that they were tracking his location, Tony Stark in the desert, his energy signature. So we cut to Nick Fury, director of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm here to talk to you about the Avengers Initiative.
Yeah.
Tony Stark, I don't care who you are. You want to talk to me about anything, you make an appointment. I think the 12th of Never is open. Look, Stark, you want an initiative? Fine. Take the initiative and leave before I call in my security guard to escort you. You may have read about him. Big guy, repulsor rays, you'd like him. Mr. Stark, I came here to offer you an opportunity. Opportunities aren't offered. They're taken. If there's one out there, I'll find it myself. I don't need government intruders in my house dangling them. You know the way out, Mr. Fury. And I'll be keeping an eye on you, Stark. Well, you've got just the one, so try not to trip over anything.
Oh, damn.
And then Fury walks out. And then he goes, Coulson, this is Fury. Looks like you had our boy pegged. And then Coulson over the comms. So he's a no-go, Colonel? Oh, he'll go. He just needs the right approach. Inform Natasha we'll be needing her services as he drives off. And that sets up to Iron Man 2. So it's very interesting that he rejects the offer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The Avenger
But it's also
Initiative.
a very Tony Stark thing to do.
Yeah.
I mean, because the second movie, despite the fact that it tries to kind of beat you over the head of like, this is a prequel to the Avengers.
Right.
He very much is sort of like, I don't want to join your boy band.
Right.
And Jon Favreau talked about how at the end of Hulk, when he walks up and he goes, we're putting a team together.
Yeah.
That wasn't up to Favreau. So Favreau was saying, like, it's interesting to think about how far after Iron Man 2 the Hulk scene happens. Because he already knew that this doesn't quite fit the timeline.
Yeah.
Where Tony Stark ends at the end of this movie to where he even ends at Iron Man 2.
Yeah. Right.
Where he's rejected from the Avengers, but he's a consultant. Like, that they're still saying, like, he's not ready to be a part of this Avengers thing. He's not going to be the leader.
Right.
And it just ties in so perfectly with where he is in the beginning of the Avengers movie, where he is the consultant.
Right.
And he shows up and he kind of has this like, who the fuck are you attitude to
Yeah.
Captain America and to Thor and to this and this and this. And it just works for the character. By the end of that movie, he's like, Cap, call it. You're like, they're a team. Like,
That's it.
That's it.
It feels like they've rehearsed, like it's almost like a basketball team. Like they've done these drills before and they know who to rely on.
I think that's the only thing about the cameo that he has in the Hulk, the Incredible Hulk, versus the role that he plays in Iron Man 2. It doesn't, because he continuously is like rejecting.
Yeah.
And then you kind of go through this arc with him at the end. He's like, so am I qualified for your boy band or am I not?
Yeah.
It doesn't completely work 100%.
Which is why I loved that the first one shot that they did was an effort to explain that.
Yeah.
Where they were like, well, first of all, he wasn't there to recruit the Hulk. He was there to recruit the Abomination, Emil Blonsky.
Right.
Because that's who Ross had in his custody.
Yep.
And then Sitwell and Coulson specifically were like, but we don't want the Abomination because they know Abomination's not a superhero. He's a supervillain. So they're like, we need somebody to go and piss him off. Tony Stark, our consultant.
Executive music producer, Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
Lauren Balfe.
Wow.
Who just did the music for
Lego
Mission
Batman,
Impossible Fallout.
Mission Impossible Fallout.
and Lego
Tom
Batman.
Morello
Yep.
did some music on there.
Yep.
There's the songs. Back in Black.
There's a lot of composers who are doing movies now who came from the Hans Zimmer School of Music.
Absolutely.
I mean,
But,
that's a good school to be
yeah.
in.
In terms of the Iron Man 2 Hulk lineup, I think it's now pretty well known that the Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, and Thor all take place during the same week.
Yeah.
Fury's big week.
Yeah.
And then the post-credit scene or the end scene for Incredible Hulk takes place sometime after that.
Yeah.
So much so that, like, my girlfriend's dad is trying to watch all these movies in order because he's missed a bunch. And I gave him the order. I was like, watch Iron Man. And then I said, watch Iron Man 2. Because by the end of that movie where he is the consultant, it kind of makes more sense to then watch The Incredible Hulk. And at the end of that, when you see Tony Stark and he's like, we're putting a team together, you're like, oh, okay. I get it.
Putting it together, yeah.
And then go to Thor and then so on. Look at that. We talked all through the credits. Perfect.
That's right. Welcome home.
Oh, I've been hacked. Sir, I'm drunk. Guys, I freaked the fuck out. Oh, my God.
I knew the voice, and then he came out of the shadow and went, what the fuck?
Oh.
Did you crap your pants?
I remember, this is what happened. It's 2008,
Yeah.
and there were rumors that scene was a post-credit scene. There were rumors that Samuel Jackson was playing Nick Fury. Comic book fans were like, holy shit, they're doing the Avengers. Nick Fury from the Ultimates. This is real. This is happening. So the screenings of the movie happened. No post-credit scene.
Yeah.
And they pulled it on purpose. The press screenings. So press were like, no, there's nothing at the end.
Yeah.
And I waited after the credits. The first.
You were trained from day one,
I remember,
Hector.
trained from day one. It's 2008. It's May. First weekend, it's Thursday night or Friday night.
Yeah.
And I was there with my girlfriend at the time. Everybody had cleared out.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple people were there, but I remember like waiting.
And those are the other people who read the forums like you.
Exactly.
Yes, we're all over the forums like, what's going on?
I heard.
When the lights come up and the thing happened and I heard, I am Iron Man. I'm like, that's Samuel Jackson. And I remember specifically I was doing this. I was like,
For those who can't see, he's like laying down in his chair.
I was sinking into my chair going, oh my God.
Yeah.
My girlfriend at the time had no idea what the fuck I was doing, why I was reacting that way.
Dating?
So that she's like, this is gonna end in a couple of years. Like, yeah, but
and then he says the famous line. You're talking about the Avenger Initiative.
And even
did you melt?
Yeah, even at that point, I went, I cannot believe. I could not believe that. It was one of the first times I felt like movie people understood comic book world and kind of were doing what I had always wanted and envisioned.
Yeah.
You got to remember, years before this, we had the X-Men movies, the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
My fantasy was that in the Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3 trilogy, and this was just a year after Spider-Man 3, and it was disappointing. But throughout all of those movies, I was like, okay, here's the deal. They're going to do Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3. They're going to do Spider-Man 4. They're going to do Spider-Man 5. By the time they get to 6, they should do the Sinister Six. And I was already thinking of a reverse Avengers where each movie introduces a villain for them to team up in part 6 because that sells itself. So I was already rationalizing. I'm like, okay, the Green Goblin, even though he died in the first one, he didn't. He's got regenerative powers, so he'll come back. Doc Ock, well, he kind of drowned, but we don't see what happens to his body.
Yeah.
I made it so that the Green Goblin, Norman Osborn, because he was behind the scenes,
saved.
fished him out. So like they're behind the scenes. Part 3, the Sandman gets away, so he's alive. Green Goblin, New Goblin, Harry Osborn's dead, leave him dead. The other villain that was Venom.
Vulture was going to be in 4.
Vulture was going to be in 4, but like the other villain was Venom, and I'm like, that symbiote, not really that important. He's not part of the Sinister Six. In 4, I was already like, they should bring in the Lizard, and they should bring in Kraven the Hunter, because Kraven will hunt the Lizard. Spider-Man stops him because he's like, that's Dr. Connors, you know, like saves him, and I'm like, that's your movie. 5 should be Vulture and Electro, because in the comic books they often teamed up, Vulture and Electro, right? Adrian Toomes and Max Dillon, and then 6 was all of those characters plus like, that's it. It would be Green Goblin, Doc Ock, Sandman, Vulture, Electro, Kraven. That's your 6. And so in my comic book heart, I was already like, these movies are doing a missed opportunity by not doing this in the long run. So when Sam Jackson came out and said, I'm here to talk to you about the Avenger Initiative, I went, they're going to do a Thor movie, they're going to do a Captain America movie, and then they're going to do an Avengers movie. And even though those characters are not as high profile as like Spider-Man and the X-Men, that's the first step. Yeah. And they're going to prove that this is what's cool about comics, and we can bring that to make it what's cool about movies.
Yeah. When I heard that, I was like, nah. No way. I was like, I was like, wait, you're going to bring in like Captain America. You're going to bring in, because I thought Wolverine was going to be a part of it too, because I didn't really understand the whole concept of the studio system. Yeah, the studio system working. I was like, there's too many people. I was like, this is impossible. It's not possible to do this. The character list is too big.
Yeah.
here we are 10 years later with fucking Thanos killing half of everybody.
And we're still like, you could put more characters. We're still like, hey, but we're still sneaking. Where's Daredevil, Jessica Jones? Come on.
Sneaking 15 more, please.
Yeah.
No, but again, it's that whole thing of being a studio who really had Kevin Feige had really like worked his way up into that position to be able to branch off and start Marvel Studios, a proper studio that would just finance these movies,
right?
And to have like, quite frankly, have the audacity to say, we're gonna start with Iron Man, we're gonna build it up hero by hero by hero by hero, bring in Thor and Loki, that relationship, and then it'll beautifully sort of tie in to a five-member team-up movie called The Avengers.
Right. Yep.
But to go into the first movie at the very end and go like, I want to talk about the Avenger Initiative. And to not, like, the movie could have opened and been like, nobody watched it. It bombed. Well, it looks like we're never doing an Avengers movie.
Yeah, exactly. But that's part of the reason why I was like, I don't know if this is actually going to happen.
Because superhero movies up to that point had not had a good track record.
Exactly.
Other than the Dark Knight.
It was like it was hit and miss. It was hit and miss.
But
the Dark Knight hadn't come out yet.
Exactly. And even when the Dark Knight had come out, it was the Dark Knight trilogy is not super about planting seeds, other than like the Scarecrow, which is great. There is a great through line throughout it, but it's not super like world buildy.
Yeah.
The way that comic books are very world buildy. So like, man, even if this thing had bombed, the fact that there was a scene at the end where they got Samuel L. Jackson uncredited
to talk about the Avengers
to play Nick Fury is still better. It's still a win because the dude from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Andre Brower, played a military man in Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer a year earlier than this, in 2007. Rumors were that character was originally envisioned as Nick Fury, director of S.H.I.E.L.D. And somebody somewhere was smart enough to go, no, we're going to save that.
Don't you dare.
You play another character, just some original military guy. And at least they saved it. I think maybe it was Feige, maybe somebody at Marvel adjacent going, I think we can get Sam Jackson, though. Like, Sam Jackson's a nerd. He reads comics. He knows that his likeness is Nick Fury. Like, maybe let's save this for Sam Jackson. And at least the one scene kind of made it all worth it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's the best usage of Nick Fury still to this date. Like, I fucking love this movie, guys. I'm going to go home and watch Incredible Hulk.
No.
I know.
So good. So good.
I know. Now I want to continue with the rest of them.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
we've been down that path.
Join me.
I know.
That's right.
I'm taking it week by week. It's just next week is Hulk.
I know. I might join you for that.
All right.
Maybe.
Yeah, super great, though. Really nice to rewatch this movie again. I do like rewatching and revisiting these movies every couple of years.
Yeah.
I think it's fun to go back and to still see, like, all right, after 2 years later, does it still hold up?
Yeah.
And going back, and I haven't seen Infinity War, and seeing, you know, and again, you never know whether or not these were if the writers from Infinity War purposely went back and were like, let's pay off these things.
Right.
But to see that it started at a place where it's like, we're going to embrace sort of the realism of this character and then slowly transition us into fantasy. And now we're at this point where, you know, Josh Brolin can play this 8-foot-tall space alien who kills half of the universe.
And Iron Man can do whatever he wants with this suit at this point.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in.
And you're good. You're good with it.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's
lots of work for that payoff.
There are still unresolved threads.
Yeah.
I still want the Ten Rings. I still want the Mandarin. That's like my main takeaway.
I want Justin Hammer to come back.
Justin Hammer to come back.
Industries,
Yes. And then other movies later, like I still want the Leader and the Abomination to come back for like a Hulk movie. Like I still want that to be wrapped up. But I definitely am like, I hope someday that they do Iron Man 4 with the Mandarin just to bring it all the way full circle.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Other than that, man, this is great.
So good. Guys, thank you so much for joining us for this live watch-along of Iron Man, the first entry in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. If you're watching this later on YouTube or you're listening to the podcast version, consider joining the Patreon. Join us live. We're going to be doing this, like we said at the beginning, every single month. You are going to be the ones that determine what movies we watch.
Yeah, you decide what we get to watch. And we'll throw in some kooky themes in there every once in a while.
100%, because this is meant to be a good old ridiculous
time.
Yep.
Awesome.
In the meantime, make sure you guys find us on social media, hyper_RPG on Twitter, and wherever hyper RPGs are sold. You guys know where to find all that information down below. And then we'll catch you guys. If you're watching this on YouTube, obviously, you have plenty of other content.
I want to give a big thanks to all the patrons who are in the chat right now.
Thank you so much.
Who stuck along with us the entire time. People
Jesse,
on the East Coast, West Coast,
Taylor, Uber, everybody.
Taylor, and who was what was the guy name who had to take off?
Oh, damn! Why you gotta put me on the spot like that,
I forgot your name. Sorry.
Thank you, man.
But thank you guys
for
watching.
Was it Rabbit Wombat?
Yeah.
No.
Who was it?
Something bot. Wombat.
Yeah, Wombat. There you go.
Thanks for watching.
But yeah, you guys
Coast,
are great.
man.
We do this for you guys, so thank you for making this possible.
Yeah.
And then we'll try to do it again. Well, we are going to do it again.
We'll do it again
soon.
next month. In the meantime, obviously, every single Thursday night, 9:30, Hyperheroes. I think we're going to have to do a big one next week to make up for some
a lot of
lost
news.
time. Lost
Oh,
time.
yeah.
A lot
of
news.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. We'll see you guys in the next one.